The story claims events are real, showing Earth from space, suggesting a grounded story where danger and food coexist worldwide. The focus shifts toward Mexico in March 2018, establishing location as the narrator recalls arriving there for uncertain reasons. In a quiet rural area, two girls stand under night sky, observing surroundings carefully, sensing tension despite the peaceful landscape. Several people gather around a fire, watching intently as flames rise, suggesting preparation for something unusual, resembling a cartel-style execution. The girl called Huntaro, calmly facing others while introductions begin, setting deeper context behind earlier observations. A victim burns in fire while observers explain cartel methods, describing how clothing slows burning and prolongs suffering during execution. A figure named Mendoza smiles casually, joking about roasting. While introductions reveal Piero, locals connected to the narrator during Mexico visit. The group notices the awful smell of burning, while intense flames roar, later compared to grilling meat, remembered before leaving Mexico. Back elsewhere, Huntaro's friend called Kay cooks food indoors, questioning why civil unrest often leads to delicious meals appearing afterward. Reflecting globally, Huntaro considers connections between danger and food, recalling travels and shared hobbies, questioning patterns behind these repeated experiences. Huntaro recalls tasting unfamiliar foods, describing sweetness of oranges and avocados, reflecting on strange flavors experienced during travels across countries. The discussion reveals a contrast where dangerous regions still offer exceptional cuisine, highlighting a wide range between low quality and fine dining. Huntaro plans another trip to Mexico, mentioning a cartel-used village, while thinking about fishing again and searching for worthwhile meals. Back near the fire, he compares the experience to fresh fish, noting differences from cartel methods while observing the ongoing situation. Among companions, Huntaro remains calm and accepted, as others laugh and talk, showing familiarity despite the unsettling events surrounding them. Huntaro stands among companions at night, recalling past years, appearing calm while others talk casually in a quiet rural setting. Reflects internally, he imagining experiences like film scenes, feeling overwhelmed as memories and impressions blur together into a single perspective. Looking into a mirror, Huntaro sees only a constructed self-image, questioning identity while maintaining a composed expression during reflection. Observing others from distance, he feels uncertain about reality, sensing events beyond perception, while focusing intensely on small surrounding details. Armed men stand nearby explaining situation, suggesting danger, while Huntaro remains present, indicating the environment could overwhelm an ordinary person. Huntaro stands confidently among girls, expressing comfort in surroundings, appearing relaxed while acknowledging the unusual situation without showing fear. He handles prepared material as others react casually, signaling completion of process while maintaining light tone, despite underlying disturbing context. Huntaro observes closely as burnt surface is peeled away, revealing preserved interior, reacting with curiosity to the unexpected transformation. The prepared item is presented as lomo al trapo, showing careful cooking method, while being sliced cleanly for consumption. He notices the pink interior resembling roast beef, realizing it is properly cooked, as others encourage eating without hesitation. Huntaro carefully slices the cooked meat, noting its tenderness and mellow color, observing how fire transformed texture into something unexpectedly refined. He lifts a piece and eats directly, reacting with surprise as flavor spreads, eyes widening while realizing the taste exceeds expectations. Continuing to eat, Huntaro compares it to rare steak, recognizing familiar qualities despite heat, identifying it as something closer to proper meat. The dish is identified as lomo al trapo, confirming the execution method resulted in a legitimate cooking technique, rather than simple destruction. Others explain the method uses cloth and salt crusting, presenting it as a known dish, reframing the situation from brutality into culinary practice. The group explains cooking steps, wrapping meat in cloth, soaking it, then placing it into fire, emphasizing simplicity and timing. They describe requirements, using organic cotton and avoiding treated fabrics, ensuring only outer layer burns while controlling doneness inside the meat. Huntaro drinks a margarita, reacting positively to taste, noting unfamiliar alcohol flavors, while continuing to observe the ongoing situation calmly. Summono points into distance, drawing attention away from cooking, as group shifts focus toward something unseen, creating sudden tension. The view reveals a reservoir and dam nearby, hinting at another important location, suggesting the situation extends beyond cooking alone. Huntaro and Pero stand quietly, reflecting on surroundings, acknowledging the strange world they are witnessing while maintaining calm composure. The landscape reveals layered history, explaining multiple San Marcos locations, with villages relocated repeatedly due to events surrounding the reservoir. Objects like weapons and notes explain cartel conflicts, showing how the area became contested territory and meeting ground between groups. The abandoned settlement appears empty, described as a ghost town, where former residents occasionally return to remember their past lives. Standing near the reservoir, Huntaro expresses determination to continue exploring and eating, accepting the situation while recognizing its unusual nature. Huntaro observes a quiet church, reflecting how San Marcos names repeat widely, suggesting cultural spread, while questioning how many such places exist. Huntaro sits quietly inside a moving train, observing surroundings, carrying a suitcase, reflecting on dangerous food quests he pursues. He arrives at airport, walking calmly while planning destination. Ignoring uncertainty, focused on documenting experiences before landing and exploring during flight. He sketches ideas, noting challenges of drawing mid-air, yet continuing work steadily as plane moves through sky. Inside cabin, shaking distracts him, prompting awareness of surroundings. As he stands and checks overhead area, sensing unusual nearby. Walking aisle, he observes passengers, realizing his perspective has shifted, blending imagination with reality, as journey shaping his narrative. Huntaro travels across continents, moving toward America, tracking destinations carefully, driven by curiosity for dangerous yet fascinating culinary experiences worldwide. He arrives in Chicago during winter, observing towering buildings, preparing to explore local culture, focusing on food tied to criminal history. Inside small restaurant, Huntaro studies sandwich origins, watching preparation, listening carefully, learning about traditions connected to Italian mob influences nearby. Chef demonstrates process, stacking ingredients heavily, pressing sandwich firmly, showing abundance of meat, emphasizing bold flavors and preparation techniques used. He reflects quietly, comparing foreign dishes with Japanese food, recognizing cultural differences, understanding deeper meaning behind meals shared across distant places. Huntaro compares sandwich to onigiri, mapping ingredients logically, believing similarity explains foreign food through familiar Japanese concepts. Chef corrects him, redefining roles of ingredients, emphasizing meat importance, showing deeper principles behind sandwich construction and balance. Huntaro listens silently, observing Chef confidently explaining fundamentals, realizing her experience surpasses assumptions, accepting lesson about understanding food beyond surface comparisons. He reflects further, noticing weapon nearby, connecting environment to danger, imagining hidden threats. Understanding food journey involves risk beyond simple culinary exploration. Rob reacts cheerfully, introducing American friend, easing tension, while Huntaro processes everything, accepting strange encounters as part of his ongoing experiences. Huntaro watches Rob laugh loudly while tension lingers, questioning situation, unsure how events escalated into strange, confusing circumstances inside restaurant. Earlier, at airport, Huntaro reunites with Rob, greeted energetically, establishing connection, preparing together to explore Chicago and its unique food culture. They travel through city, discussing Rob's background, understanding his identity tied closely to Chicago, shaping perspective on local traditions and lifestyle. Rob suggests Italian beef, guiding Huntaro toward famous local dish, confidently leading, while Huntaro follows, trusting his friend's experience and knowledge. Rob jokes casually, proposing alternative activity, while Huntaro listens, adjusting expectations, continuing journey shaped by unpredictable yet memorable encounters. Huntaro notices Rob preparing equipment, surprised by seriousness. While Rob jokes, masking intentions behind casual behavior, Rob reassures Huntaro, guiding her toward car, insisting safety, treating her carefully, while maintaining control over situation and next destination. Huntaro waits, as Rob returns briefly, sensing urgency, watching movements closely, understanding plans, shifting quickly before continuing their unexpected journey together. Outside, Rob complains about forgotten keys, revealing oversight, yet confirming weapon checked. Highlighting dangerous priorities, they enter Chicago streets, surrounded by tall buildings, strong winds, and history. As Huntaro recognizes environment-shaping events and risks ahead, Huntaro rides with Rob, hearing history of Chicago, understanding hardships, shaping city, comparing it mentally with familiar events from Japan. They arrive at small restaurant, modest exterior suggesting authenticity, as Huntaro prepares to experience local dish within its original environment. Inside, he notices details from oranges displayed openly to bottled oil, sensing atmosphere tied to traditions and older cultural practices. They enter quietly, observing interior, noticing lone customer and staff, recognizing simplicity, yet feeling underlying tension within calm surroundings. Huntaro overhears harsh remarks, realizing cultural gap, feeling uneasy, yet remaining composed. Understanding experience involves both food and difficult human interactions. Chef invites Huntaro privately, explaining truth behind Italian beef, while Rob's explanation about him remains partially incomplete. Inside restaurant, Chef welcomes them, while Rob jokes casually, contrasting serious atmosphere, as Huntaro reflects on unexpected situation. Rob continues joking loudly, while Huntaro remains quiet, observing reactions, realizing differences in personality influence how situations develop during their shared experience. Chef explains background stories, describing origins tied to immigrants, while Rob's carefree attitude contrasts with deeper cultural history behind the dish. Huntaro listens carefully, understanding meals were stretched for gatherings, realizing necessity-shaped recipes, giving deeper meaning. Chef explains origins, describing immigrants creating Italian beef from limited resources, transforming simple ingredients into meaningful dish representing pride and survival. Huntaro watches as sandwich is dipped entirely, shocked by process, realizing essence lies in soaking bread with rich meat juices. Detailed instructions follow, explaining seasoning, slicing meat, and preparation steps, showing complexity behind dish that initially seemed simple to Huntaro. Further guidance reveals importance of retaining juices, cooking carefully, and balancing moisture, emphasizing precision required to achieve authentic Italian beef result. Final step demonstrates dipping sandwich again, ensuring full flavor absorption, as Huntaro understands technique defines experience, completing his learning journey. Chef presents finished Italian beef, overflowing with meat, as Huntaro recognizing culmination of preparation and cultural meaning behind dish. Before eating, instructions begin, emphasizing correct method, as Rob and Chef guide Huntaro, ensuring he understands proper way to approach meal. Rob demonstrates stance, explaining positioning, spreading elbows and legs, preparing physically, showing eating requires technique beyond simple consumption of food. They lean forward over table, juices dripping heavily, illustrating messy process, as Huntaro imitates posture, accepting experience without hesitation or discomfort. He finally bites sandwich, overwhelmed by flavor and texture, fully embracing authentic experience through direct participation and understanding. Huntaro eats enthusiastically, overwhelmed by flavor, comparing experience to Japanese dishes, realizing intensity surpasses expectations, leaving strong impression on him. He questions absence in Japan, while others react, explaining uniqueness, emphasizing combination of flavor and preparation cannot be easily replicated elsewhere. Discussion continues about sandwich structure, highlighting necessity of design supporting juices, as Huntaro reflects on practical limitations preventing similar dishes in Japan. Chef explains purpose of sharing knowledge, encouraging Huntaro to spread understanding, while Rob enjoying moment. They finish meal together happily, satisfied, as Huntaro appreciates experience. Recognizing journey expanded his perspective on food, culture, and meaningful connections formed. Huntaro reflects on Chicago, recognizing it as place of friends, strong culture, and dangerous history, shaping his understanding of food and experiences. He looks at sandwich, acknowledging promise made, deciding to share knowledge responsibly, carrying lesson forward beyond this single memorable journey. Huntaro sits quietly on the plane, reading news while traveling, focused on dangerous places and food experiences awaiting him ahead. He checks his phone again, feeling uneasy as the plane prepares landing, realizing his destination holds troubling events. Reading further, Huntaro learns about crimes and arrests, believing misfortune follows him whenever he seeks new culinary experiences in foreign places. After landing, he recalls past incidents, understanding dangerous situations often surround his travels, yet he continues pursuing food despite risks. At inspection, Huntaro observes people around, reflecting on reality differences, accepting society's complexity. Huntaro reaches the counter, answering calmly, stating his layover purpose, while observing surroundings and noting this moment for future storytelling. The scene shifts to Brazil, showing Amazonas region, as Huntaro recalls his past journey, marking the beginning of another unusual experience. A wide river and isolated building appear, establishing the remote location where Huntaro stayed, surrounded by nature and unfamiliar conditions. Huntaro drinks local juice, reacting strongly as the taste surprises him, overwhelmed by its flavor, showing visible emotional response immediately. He analyzes the drink carefully, concluding its sweetness and texture feel unnatural, questioning its origin, while recognizing its unique, unforgettable taste. Huntaro notices Rodrigo nearby, recognizing him as a local fisherman, while others admire his appearance, and he casually engages conversation. They sit together outside, as Huntaro observes Rodrigo's confidence, learning about his reputation, while continuing to drink the unusual juice. Rodrigo identifies the drink as abacaxi, surprising Huntaro, who questions its origin, while acknowledging the taste remains unexpectedly impressive. Offers to gather fresh fruit, Rodrigo explaining its availability locally, while Huntaro reflects on unfamiliar ingredients rarely found in Japan. Left alone, Huntaro continues, drinking quietly, thinking about the strange flavor, still unsure what abacaxi truly is, despite enjoying it. Huntaro continues drinking the juice, feeling attached to its taste, worrying he cannot experience it again after returning to Japan. Rodrigo returns, presenting the whole fruit, revealing its true form, surprising Huntaro with its rough appearance and unfamiliar identity. Huntaro reacts with confusion, realizing abacaxi is pineapple, questioning differences, while Rodrigo calmly confirms its common presence outside Japan. Rodrigo cuts the fruit, explaining natural growth differences, as Huntaro notices stronger aroma, recognizing it differs greatly from imported versions. He understands imported pineapples lose quality, appreciating local freshness, while learning Amazonas offers many unique fruits beyond his previous knowledge. Huntaro asks Rodrigo about favorite local fruits, showing curiosity, while Rodrigo listens calmly, considering options available in the surrounding region. Rodrigo confidently answers oranges, surprising Huntaro, who expected something unusual, while Rodrigo remains composed, suggesting something seemingly ordinary yet different. Leaves briefly, Rodrigo promising to bring some, while Huntaro reflects on oranges, questioning how they could differ from familiar ones. Rodrigo returns with many oranges, startling Huntaro, who notices their green color, questioning ripeness and differences from those in Japan. Huntaro struggles cutting the orange, realizing its toughness, while Rodrigo explains technique, suggesting its sweetness differs from appearance despite confusion. Rodrigo demonstrates cutting technique, instructing Huntaro to pierce firmly, showing strength required, while Huntaro observes the unusual preparation carefully. Tastes the orange piece, Huntaro reacting quietly, processing flavor, while Rodrigo watches, expecting his response after offering the freshly prepared fruit. Huntaro describes the taste as sweet and tart, slightly unpleasant initially, while Rodrigo explains its complexity and distinct characteristics compared to expectations. Rodrigo reveals many oranges are needed, explaining low juice yield, showing pile of fruit, emphasizing effort required for a single drink. Receives the prepared juice, Huntaro, realizing the process behind it, understanding its value, appreciating the drink more after witnessing preparation. Huntaro drinks the orange juice, questioning effort behind it, wondering why so many fruits were used for such a small glass. He studies the drink closely, briefly fearing illness, yet curiosity pushes him forward, unable to resist finishing the entire glass. After tasting fully, Huntaro realizes the flavor is extraordinary, far beyond expectation, understanding it cannot be ordinary orange juice anymore. He reflects deeply, comparing flavors, recognizing balance and smoothness unlike anything before, questioning everything he previously believed about fruit juices. Rodrigo explains local perspective, stating fruits are respected differently, and some varieties suit juice better, giving Huntaro new understanding. Huntaro summarizes the orange juice experience, acknowledging its uniqueness, realizing such quality cannot be found in Japan despite similar ingredients. He learns about other fruits, understanding their flavors and rarity, recognizing the region offers many unique foods unavailable in his homeland. Huntaro records the moment, taking photos, sharing impressions, while sitting with Rodrigo, preserving the experience as part of his journey. He reflects on the Amazon environment, realizing it is more convenient than expected, with modern comforts existing alongside the natural surroundings. Observes the lodge facilities, he understanding the balance between wilderness and comfort, preparing to continue his exploration of food experiences. Huntaro reflects calmly, realizing danger matters less than food experiences, understanding most visitors relax here, while he focuses entirely on tasting. He sits with Rodrigo near water, acknowledging the moment feels significant, recognizing simple juice tasting has become an unforgettable experience. A crocodile appears nearby, startling Huntaro, while Rodrigo casually mentions it, even asking about eating it, showing her fearless attitude. Rodrigo suddenly prepares to leave, offering to get crocodile, while Huntaro watches in confusion, unsure how the situation escalated quickly. She departs by boat and dives into water, leaving Huntaro shocked, witnessing her reckless action. Rodrigo returns holding a small crocodile, presenting it casually, while Huntaro watches nervously, unsure how to react to situation. He reassures him calmly, explaining it is harmless, while Huntaro questions his actions, still uneasy about handling such a dangerous animal. Rodrigo laughs, treating situation lightly, while Huntaro struggles internally, realizing his behavior reflects someone completely accustomed to this environment. He speaks casually, stating they are alone, creating tension, while Huntaro remains silent, uncertain about his intentions and surroundings. Huntaro reflects on Brazil, recognizing contrasts between beauty and danger. Understanding the environment shapes people differently from his expectations and experiences. Huntaro reflects on the environment, realizing danger surrounds the Amazon. Yet Rodrigo remains calm, accustomed to threats present in daily life. He considers the risks, questioning whether such danger still allows good food, while Rodrigo listens, understanding his concern, but remaining confident. Rodrigo suggests exploring further, mentioning favelas and fishing, while Huntaro feels uncertain, yet continues following his guidance, despite unfamiliar circumstances. By the riverbank, Rodrigo grilled fish. Reika watched quietly. The setting felt surreal raw nature, simple cooking. Amid crackling fire and jungle sounds, she absorbed every new sensation around her. Rodrigo's skill impressed Reika. He cooked with care, blending tradition and instinct. Reika reflected on his background, respected, talented, deeply connected to this place. There was much to learn here. Rodrigo suggested exploring while the meal finished. Reika smiled, feeling freer with each moment. She embraced the river breeze and sunlight, ready to discover more of this vibrant Amazonian life. As Reika relaxed in the river, time flowed gently. The meal would be ready soon. In this place, life moved with nature's rhythm, no rush, only moments to savor. Called back, Reika joined the meal. The spread amazed her: grilled fish, beans, rice, fresh salad. Each bite revealed Rodrigo's skill. Simple ingredients, prepared with care, transformed into true delight. Reika praised Rodrigo's technique. His modest reply masked deep expertise. She marveled. Even a river fish here surpassed expectations. In this wild land, flavors held stories of place, tradition, and heart. Later that day, Rodrigo continued guiding tourists through fishing lessons. Reika watched her work with quiet admiration. She moved with skill and confidence, clearly at ease in her natural element. Reika reflected on a message she read. The meaning struck her deeply. Life, in its purest form, carried more value than anything already spent or sacrificed for use. The car sped down the open road. Reika sat in silence, holding on to feelings that refused to settle. A deep ache grew, formed not from absence, but from overwhelming beauty. As the sun set, Reika pondered the weight of saudade. A longing both joyful and melancholic lingered. The Amazon's beauty now belonged to her memories, etched deeper than she expected. Later, among friends, Reika absorbed cultural nuances. Names, identities, and meanings swirled around her. Small exchanges reminded her how subtle language could capture emotions no translation ever fully conveyed. On the road again, Reika noticed tension beneath the cheerful conversation. Plans for the evening shifted. she observed quietly, understanding that life here flowed unpredictably, moments of joy shadowed by uncertainty. As plans shifted, Reika sensed the evening's tone changing. Uncertainty lingered. The road ahead seemed longer now, winding toward unfamiliar streets where the comforts of her earlier experiences faded. They arrived deeper in the city. Narrow alleys and crumbling facades whispered stories. Reika took it in, fascinated by the contrast. Art and decay intertwined, revealing another face of Brazil. Later they gathered in a small restaurant. The mood softened. Reika reflected quietly. Each moment on this journey wove new threads, a tapestry richer, more complex than she had imagined. A rich dish was served next, ham hocks. Reika observed closely. The preparation revealed another layer of culinary culture. Hearty, bold flavors drawn from every part of the ingredient. As she tasted it, Reika felt surprise and delight. The contrast of textures, the deep savory richness, each bite, told a story of tradition shaped by necessity and pride. Reika absorbed the preparation process. Each step reflected both resourcefulness and reverence for food. Techniques passed through generations transformed simple cuts into something extraordinary, a celebration of resilience and flavor. Coffee arrived next. Reika savored the rich, bold flavor. It reflected the warmth and depth of Brazil itself. Simple moments here held weight, each sip grounding her further in the experience. She noticed a scar, a quiet testament to resilience. Life here demanded adaptability and strength. Observing those around her, Reika admired how hardship and joy coexisted with effortless grace. Reflecting on her time, Reika felt a quiet wave of longing. Connections made, lessons learned, each left an imprint. In this moment, saudade enveloped her, gentle, bittersweet, deeply human. At the airport, parting was bittersweet. Embraces carried the weight of unspoken gratitude. Reika boarded her flight with a full heart, each goodbye deepening the bond forged through shared moments. Messages arrived, softening her solitude. Plans for the future sparked hope. Amid Saudade's embrace, Reika held one certainty. The journey had only begun, its imprint now a part of her. Reika walked the quiet corridor. Her travels continued. Wearing a simple yukata for comfort, she prepared for another day abroad. Each step carried curiosity toward the unfamiliar experiences ahead. At breakfast, Reika met a familiar face. The table was set with a classic American spread. Observing the choices, she reflected on the different ways culture shaped even simple meals. As they discussed food habits, Reika noticed another contrast. Dishes common elsewhere still felt unusual here. Small details sparked questions, reminders that understanding a culture meant noticing even the everyday. Later, Reika joined a high-speed boat ride. The engine roared as they raced across the water. The sensation was new power and precision, unlike anything she had experienced before. As they cruised, Reika noticed the boat's effortless control. Though speed thrilled her, she remained observant. Each turn revealed more about this world where performance and mastery quietly commanded respect. They stopped at a new location. Reika learned about the practical side of fishing here. Skill mattered more than power. Understanding this balance, she appreciated how simplicity often defined true expertise. Reika observed how her companions managed the trip. Some offered help easily, others stayed reserved. She noticed her own caution, too, learning how unfamiliar settings demanded both trust and awareness. They traveled on. Reika watched the fishing techniques. Though still an observer, curiosity grew. The lake's vastness invited reflection. In quiet moments, she sensed this place reshaping her understanding of patience. Later, as fishing continued, Reika recognized a shift. What once seemed dull now held subtle satisfaction. Through shared efforts and small triumphs, she embraced the simple, steady rhythm of the day. During their outing, a patrol approached. Reika observed quietly. The lake's openness had its rules. Watching the interaction unfold, she grasped how even simple leisure required awareness of local expectations. The situation eased, but unease lingered. Reika noticed how quickly control shifted. She stayed alert. Small moments revealed much about trust and caution, lessons less about fishing, more about understanding people. Later, conversation returned to lighter topics. They prepared to move on. Reika reflected. Each encounter held layers. The more she listened, the more she realized culture shaped every interaction deeply. Tension rose as Reika learned of hidden dangers nearby. Relief came as the moment passed. Returning to shore, she felt hunger and normalcy slowly reassert themselves after the unexpected interruption. The next day began with a long drive. Endless landscape stretched before them. Reika felt the vastness of the region, its size, its quiet, and the sense of freedom it offered. Finally, a long-awaited dish arrived. Reika marveled at its size and indulgence. After so much travel and experience, this moment of simple pleasure felt earned a reward in its own right. Reika studied the preparation of the dish. Each step reflected indulgence layered with care. Observing the method, she grasped why this meal commanded reverence. Simple ingredients transformed through precise technique. The dish emerged rich and imposing. Reika prepared herself, knowing this was no ordinary food. The process mirrored craftsmanship, balancing texture and flavor, each element building anticipation for the first bite. She tasted it. Immediate impressions followed, rich, intense, satisfying. The dish's decadence made sense. Reflecting on this, Reika recognized that sometimes culinary experiences held as much power as any story. Reika walked along the expansive bridge. The openness around her brought reflection. Each new place carried subtle meanings, ones that emerged only when she allowed herself to observe without expectation. She learned the bridge's history, how culture and practicality shaped its design. Some lessons felt distant, yet others reminded her how small decisions could reflect deeper, often unseen, influences. Later, while enjoying a simple meal, a thought surfaced. Patterns of value and pressure applied everywhere. Reika recognized this truth in food, in places, in people. Another treasure gained from travel. Returning to a familiar street, Reika found only emptiness. A place once lively had vanished. The absence struck her, reminding her how time quietly erased even the most cherished spaces. She moved on, memories resurfacing. The past felt distant, yet carried weight. Some places remained unchanged, others had faded. Reika accepted this truth: returning would never fully recapture what was lost. Nearby, a sudden commotion broke her thoughts. A brief scuffle unfolded before her. Reika observed calmly, unaffected. Life's smaller dramas seemed trivial against the larger reflections occupying her mind. Reika walked familiar streets, reflecting on how much had changed. Memories remained vivid but incomplete. The world she once knew had shifted, shaped now by the distance of time and experience. Passing through town, Reika acknowledged how her mind processed this return. Recollections merged with new perceptions. Each step reinforced that nostalgia, though comforting, often clashed with the reality of the present. Nearby, a game unfolded, an ordinary scene in this place. Reika paused, watching quietly. The simple energy of daily life grounded her again, offering a small but steady reassurance. Reika wandered the streets, hunger growing. Familiar sights stirred old memories. The town had changed, yet certain corners still echoed her youth. She searched quietly for a simple meal. Passing through once rowdy streets, Reika recalled how she had navigated them. Rules were unspoken, shaped by experience. Now, as an adult, the edges of those memories seemed less sharp. She found a modest ramen shop. The simplicity suited her mood. Sitting down, Reika appreciated the warmth and familiarity of the dish, a grounding comfort amid the shifting landscape around her. Reika savored the ramen. The shop's energy comforted her. Simple food, shared spaces, sometimes the most ordinary settings left the strongest impressions. Tonight, this small bowl anchored her wandering thoughts. Nearby, a dispute unfolded. Reika observed, recognizing youthful bravado. She restrained the urge to intervene. Experience taught her that some lessons were best learned through moments others had to face themselves. Later, walking to a shrine, conversation shifted. Reika reflected on past pursuits. Familiar rituals and distant memories intertwined. Each step reminded her that identity was built from many quiet, layered moments. Reika watched the stance carefully. The moment held meaning. In that stillness she sensed more than skill. It revealed understanding shaped by discipline, a quiet dialogue between body, mind, and intent. Memories surfaced of a man transformed by his losses. His path taught her that strength alone did not define worth. Choices, tempered by reflection, determined the weight of one's actions. Later, Reika returned to the ramen shop. A new meal awaited. Amid familiar faces and small kindnesses, she found reassurance. Simple gestures, freely given, carried more warmth than elaborate words. Reika examined her meal. Each component reflected local care and tradition. Eating slowly, she appreciated the balanced flavors layered thoughtfully, textures inviting her to savor. This moment grounded her again. Later, she walked along the waterfront. The city's quiet rhythms unfolded around her. Familiar yet distant, it reminded her of past routines, of lives lived with steady purpose and resilience. Reflection deepened. Small missteps lingered in her mind, yet self-awareness mattered more than perfection. Moving forward, Reika carried both lessons and lightness, the day's experiences becoming part of her evolving story. An offer interrupted her thoughts. Reika declined politely, mindful of her situation. Practicality guided her steps. Now not every invitation was worth pursuing when priorities had become more defined. She wandered through narrow streets. Neon lights and tangled wires framed her path. Each alleyway whispered its own stories. Moving forward, Reika remained steady, shaped by both past lessons and intent. Reika arrived in the Arabian desert. The landscape was vast, unfamiliar. Standing alone among the dunes, she grasped that this environment carried lessons no city or familiar place could offer. The desert revealed harsh truths. Every grain of sand, each bleached relic, spoke of time. Reika reflected, here, decay meant transformation, not corruption. This challenged her understanding of life's cycle. Observing simple dates drying in the sun, Reika saw change happen in real time. The desert's stark wisdom taught her death did not soil, it clarified, stripped things to essence. Reika prepared for her flight to Dubai, managing miles and practical details. She balanced excitement with planning. Each trip now required thoughtful choices, every movement shaped by experience and purpose. At the airport, Reika explored the lounge. The setting impressed her, quiet, refined. She appreciated these brief comforts, understanding they provided balance amid the often unpredictable pace of her journeys. Aboard the plane, Reika reflected, travel taught her value beyond destinations, moments of reflection, lessons in adaptability. Now she welcomed what awaited, curiosity tempered by growing wisdom gained through movement. Reika arrived at her hotel. The atmosphere felt both elegant and welcoming. She explored thoughtfully, recognizing how each element was designed to comfort. Here, the experience extended beyond simple accommodation. Settling poolside, Reika reflected, the temptation to relax entirely tugged at her. But curiosity prevailed. She reminded herself this journey was about discovery. Rest mattered, but so did forward movement. Venturing out, Reika observed daily life. The city's contrasts intrigued her, modern conveniences beside timeless routines. With each new detail, she absorbed lessons that only walking unfamiliar streets could teach. Reika explored the hotel's features. Each detail reflected thoughtful design. Unexpectedly, she noted familiar innovations embraced here. Observing how cultures borrowed and adapted, she appreciated how comfort often crossed boundaries. Traveling through the city, Reika admired Dubai's efficiency. Modern systems blended seamlessly with cultural roots. As a visitor, she sensed both openness and pride, a city comfortable welcoming the world. At a market, Reika browsed local goods. Simple offerings told rich stories of place and tradition. Interacting with vendors, she experienced warmth beyond transactions, genuine exchanges that deepened her connection. Reika explored the market stalls. Dried fruits and nuts offered simple treasures. Observing the variety, she appreciated how local foods reflected the desert's bounty, shaped by climate, culture, and trade. A chance encounter led to conversation. Reika welcomed the exchange, bridging distance through shared curiosity. Small dialogues reminded her that connection often began with simple interests, not grand gestures. Later, curiosity drew her to an unfamiliar item. Reika examined it closely. The shift from expected flavors to unknown depths echoed her journey, always moving from surface impressions to deeper understanding. Reika inspected the jar. The seller's assurances intrigued her, but caution lingered. Despite curiosity, she weighed the risk. Travel taught her new experiences required both openness and careful discernment. Temptation grew. Reika debated whether to bring the jar home. The decision mirrored many on her journey, balancing value against uncertainty. Sometimes, what mattered wasn't the item but the choice itself. Alone, Reika prepared to taste it. Uncertainty remained, but her resolve held. Carefully, she approached this unknown. Travel had taught her one truth. Growth often began with small, deliberate risks. Reika tasted the honey. The bitterness overwhelmed her. Confused, she doubted her choice. But as the flavor changed, curiosity turned to surprise. Travel reminded her, first impressions could mislead. Moments later, her body reacted. Heat surged, heart raced. Reika marveled. The effect was undeniable. Not every discovery needed deep meaning. Some experiences simply reminded her to expect the unexpected. Later, reflecting, Reika documented the encounter. Knowledge gained, story added to her journey. In travel, even a jar of mystery honey could leave a lasting memory and a valuable lesson. Reika studied local foods. Simple staples reinterpreted, reflected cultural blending. Each dish reminded her how environments shaped eating habits. Curiosity deepened through food. She glimpsed how people balanced heritage and modern life. Later, Reika rested. Effects from the mysterious honey lingered. Strength surged unexpectedly. Observing herself, She noted both the novelty and the limits. Experience had taught her to respect such changes. Refreshed, Reika prepared for the next outing. Unexpected detours like buying a new shirt reminded her flexibility mattered. Travel thrived on such moments, plans shifted, lessons unfolded along the way. Reika listened to a colleague's story about shisha. Cultural habits intrigued her. Observing how experiences varied across borders, she recognized travel was not only about places, it was about perspectives. A melon milk at reception caught Reika's attention. Small, unexpected details often made her journeys memorable. Each sip reminded her everyday flavors spoke volumes about a place's tastes and comforts. Later, the call to prayer echoed through the city. Reika paused, listening. Such moments grounded her. In a world of movement, shared rituals reminded her of universal rhythms and reflection. Reika wandered Dubai's streets. The blend of tradition and modernity intrigued her. Observing city life, she realized each environment shaped experiences differently, teaching her new lessons with every step. Inside the mall, Reika explored the supermarket. The variety surprised her. Globalization brought familiar comforts, yet local touches remained. For travelers, small details often revealed as much as grand sights. Later, on the train, Reika enjoyed a simple meal. Familiarity comforted her, though she missed surprise. In travel, balance mattered, between seeking the new and appreciating small reminders of home. Reika spotted fishing gear. A sudden urge struck her. Night fishing sounded perfect. Planning quickly, she sought a quiet spot by the water, eager to try something entirely new. The harbor lights sparkled. Reika admired the view. Memories of Tokyo Bay surfaced. Fishing's timeless allure connected places. Around her, locals fished calmly, their presence grounding the vibrant modern city. Nearby, a group of girls laughed, offering coffee. Surprised but grateful, Reika accepted. Shared moments, even small ones, shaped her travels. Tonight, new friendships began with a simple, warm gesture. Reika sipped her coffee as the local girls shared fishing tips. Curious exchanges flowed. Discovering their warmth, she felt a subtle connection forming, one that reached beyond cultural differences. Conversation deepened. The locals praised Dubai's charm. Reika, reflecting, agreed. It was safe, welcoming, vibrant. As they stood beneath the shimmering lights, an unlikely friendship bloomed in the cool night. Encouraged, Reika asked for fishing tackle recommendations. The girls eagerly offered advice. Inspired, Reika smiled. Tonight's casual meeting had transformed her journey, blending shared passion and genuine human connection. Reika explored Dubai's shops, enjoying their quirky charm. A fishing store caught her eye. Later, drawn to a dessert shop, she purchased 5 boxes, thoughtful gifts for those back home. Flying home, Reika divided her haul, boxes for her family and editor, 1 jar of medicinal honey for herself. She reflected fondly on her experiences, treasures beyond souvenirs. At home, Reika unpacked everything carefully. The final box, reserved for herself, brought a small, satisfied smile. Each item carried memories, flavors, and friendships gathered across distant sands and skies. Reika sampled a treat she'd forgotten. 1 bite sent fireworks across her palate. The flavors, like rainbow fizz, bewildered her. Was this real? Delight and confusion danced upon her tongue. The experience deepened. Layers of rose, spice, and sweetness unfolded endlessly. Reika's curiosity grew. She decided to keep the box. This mysterious dessert defied expectations, a rare treasure worth savoring. Later, she researched it. Halva, a confection enjoyed worldwide, simple yet mind-blowing. Reika marveled at how such humble ingredients transformed. This discovery joined her growing collection of unforgettable culinary memories. Back in Japan, Reika missed the flavor of halva. She searched local stores, wondering why no match satisfied her. Something about Middle Eastern sweets felt richer, deeper than she'd imagined. A new friend, Akira-san, explained, halva simply means sweets. No wonder her search had failed. The revelation intrigued Reika. Countless variations existed. She vowed to explore them all someday. Meanwhile, Rob mistakenly praised Japanese anko as equivalent. Reika mentally corrected him. Halva wasn't just bean paste or chocolate. It was history, culture, and identity far beyond a single taste. In Japan, Reika sought the unique halva. No store matched her memory. Wandering unfamiliar aisles, she wondered about distant lives behind the sweets. The news reminded her, reality often brings contrast. News of Palestine played again. Reika paused, watching grim headlines. She now felt a quiet connection, thinking of artisans and families. Conflict felt heavier. Their resilience, expressed in flavors, stayed in her mind. June boarded the flight with simple hopes: eat well and reach Brazil safely. The meal calmed her nerves. As the plane took off, anticipation for a second Brazilian visit grew. The journey tested her endurance: Japan to Fukuoka, hours in Dallas, another in Sao Paulo. Through tired eyes, she watched clouds pass. At each stop, her goal remained unchanged: reach Brazil. Finally landing, June met a friendly local fluent in multiple languages. Impressed by his adaptability, she reflected on her own journey. Despite exhaustion, curiosity for Brazil's culture and food pushed her forward. June arrived in Brazil, greeted warmly by Rodrigo's cheerful friend. Excitement built as they loaded bags into the car. For June, this reunion marked another chapter of learning and cultural exchange. The group drove through the city, sharing stories. June observed her friend's casual charm with locals. Thoughts of blending in crossed her mind. Brazil's everyday life intrigued her more with each mile. They reached a lively destination. Talk turned to fashion and appearances. June, still adjusting, quietly took it in. Her companions embraced Brazil's vibrant energy. The adventure was only beginning for her. Rodrigo suggested dance practice. June hesitated. They joked about beauty standards. At lunch, June tried pacu fish. The energetic group embraced Brazilian life, laughing and learning. Another adventure awaited after the meal. Post-meal, the car ride lulled June to sleep. Her companions chatted about fishing. Surprised, they learned June hadn't visited Disneyland. Curiosity about her perspective built as they prepared for their next stop. They explored the fishing store. June listened quietly, observing her friend's excitement. Questions about her feelings surfaced. She responded thoughtfully, aware each moment here taught her more about connection and curiosity. The river roared ahead. June hesitated, sensing the speed. Her friend reassured her. Nervously, June boarded the boat. The engine started. The river seemed wilder than expected. Her heart began to race. The boat accelerated, waves crashing. June gripped the seat, wide-eyed. Fear surged as the boat faced the rapid current. Despite reassurance, panic grew. She wondered if this adventure had gone too far. The boat pressed on. June, unlicensed but determined, endured the ride. The river's force reminded her of life's pace: fast, unpredictable. Despite fear, she embraced the challenge, sensing growth with each moment. June protested the lack of life jackets. The driver, confident and drinking, laughed it off. The boat sped through the river. Later, they rested ashore. June marveled at Rodrigo's carefree attitude. The group unpacked lunch. Rodrigo surprised June by bringing raw ingredients to cook fresh. Curious, June watched as Rodrigo began preparing the meal. The fire was lit, anticipation building for the feast. Rodrigo took the lead, grilling with expertise. June admired her skill and relaxed confidence. The sizzling food tempted everyone. In that moment, June felt both inspired and deeply immersed in Brazilian life. Lunch was served: sirloin, cheese bread, mangoes, onions. June took a bite, astonished. Rodrigo's simple technique elevated the flavor. Salt and wood fire alone made the best steak June had ever tasted. Rodrigo explained her method. A specific firewood imparted unmatched flavor. June admired the thoughtful preparation. The meal became unforgettable, leaving her reflecting on how care and simplicity could create extraordinary results. Everyone praised Rodrigo's cooking. June agreed. Her ranking of favorite steaks changed forever. Grateful for the experience, she savored each bite. The meal wasn't just delicious, it was an education. Rodrigo's steak technique was explained. Salt, precise trimming, and control over the open fire made it exceptional. The method wasn't complex. What mattered was attention, fuel choice, and understanding the ingredients. Fire control remained key. Onions grilled beautifully beside the meat. The lodge awaited them upriver. After their meal, they resumed traveling. The peaceful scenery framed a day rich with learning. They reached the lodge. Koike rested, enjoying the food. June noticed her flushed face. Concern rose. Was Koike ill? June hesitated, unsure how to help. Their vibrant day took a sudden turn. June returned to her room exhausted and feverish. Rodrigo kindly brought lemon honey water. The warmth of this small act touched June deeply. Care in a foreign land felt precious. Koike arrived, apologizing for earlier noise. She brought sweets and soda. Sick people need sugar, Koike insisted cheerfully. June felt grateful. Such kindness lifted her spirits amidst an unfamiliar environment. Morning arrived. The group prepared for another outing. June, still recovering, felt determined. With support from friends, her resolve strengthened. The adventure in Brazil was far from over yet. June awoke to roosters crowing. The calm morning felt refreshing. She greeted Rodrigo's friendly dogs, finding simple joy in their carefree lives. A peaceful start welcomed another day in Brazil. Rodrigo's cheerful greeting set the tone. The group gathered for breakfast, planning the day ahead. Energized and eager, they headed out, ready for another fishing adventure under the bright sun. The fishing boat sped down the river. they skillfully reeled in fish for lunch. Afterward, beneath the shade, Jun and her friend rested. A fulfilling morning gave way to relaxation. They fished until sunset. Returning to the lodge, they enjoyed a hearty meal. Soccer matches and laughter filled the evening. Jun relaxed, embracing the lodge's simple pleasures and warm camaraderie. Morning came too soon. Jun lamented her final day. Determined to savor it, she sat for one last Brazilian feast. Each dish, vibrant and rich, celebrated Brazil's culinary diversity. Over the meal, they discussed food and culture. Jun admired Rodrigo's deep knowledge. Unique flavors like tucunade carpaccio amazed her. With a smile, she embraced Brazil's warmth, friendships, and memories. During lunch, they discussed food etiquette and culture. Jun practiced using chopsticks properly. Conversations shifted to exotic foods like fugu and whale. Warm laughter filled the room. Evening preparations quietly began. Morning arrived. Jun, awake at dawn, prepared to leave. After a refreshing shower, she packed her suitcase carefully. Thoughts of home lingered, but so did Brazil's unforgettable warmth and flavors. At breakfast, Jun savored the final moments with friends. With gratitude, she packed gifts and memories. Saying farewell, she embraced this life, chapter 1 filled with discovery, connection, and joy. Jun prepared to leave, room now empty. Friends arrived, urging her to relax and enjoy the ride. The boat rushed downriver, carrying them swiftly toward town. Laughter softened the farewell. Chatting resumed. Jun shared her thoughts about writing. Koike and Rodrigo discussed paying their share, but friendship outweighed money. Memories of the trip and future stories began forming in Jun's mind. Rodrigo insisted, no payment between friends. Warm teasing followed. As Jun prepared to leave Brazil behind, bonds deepened. The journey home awaited, but Brazil's spirit would stay with her forever. Farewells filled the morning. Jun thanked her friends, touched by their warmth. At the airport, Koike gifted her a fishing reel. Emotions stirred, parting was harder than she had expected. Jun boarded her flight, watching Brazil fade below. The long journey home began. In Tokyo, she reflected on friendships made. 2 days felt like a lifetime, yet bonds remained strong. At a cafe, Jun compared fried chicken to Rodrigo's steak. Koike joined her. A sudden call interrupted them, hinting at new news. Even back home, Brazil's memories lingered deeply. Jun parted with Koike, who rushed to an urgent task. Left waiting for the bus, Jun pondered the difference in pace here. 30 minutes for a bus felt foreign. Realizing it was her first solo moment in Brazil, Jun scanned her surroundings. A warehouse across the street seemed off. Her instincts warned her, stay alert, stay safe. Jun observed the other bus passengers. As the lone Asian tourist, she felt exposed. The wait stretched longer. Uncertainty mixed with resolve. She remained quietly vigilant, awaiting her ride. Jun waited alone. Senses heightened, she noticed people near a warehouse. A delicious smell wafted over. Curiosity sparked, she decided to investigate, spotting a small crowd forming unexpectedly nearby. Drawn in, Jun joined the crowd. She bought the enticing treat, enjoying its warm, stretchy texture. Amused at herself, she realized how easily she'd adapted to exploring freely. Returning to the bus stop, Jun felt proud of her tiny adventure. A stranger kindly reminded her to keep her ticket safe. Rejuvenated, she was ready for the next leg. Jun retrieved her forgotten passport, relieved. Without it, she couldn't return to Japan. Thanking her friends warmly, she savored a soft cheese bun, comforted by the simple kindness shared. Curious, Jun learned the story of pão de queijo grande. The large cheesy bread fascinated her, how cassava flour and cheese created such magic. She marveled, tasting joy in every bite. As she gazed at the endless favelas, Jun reflected, their density amazed her. Yet amidst hardship, there was beauty, especially in the food, the culture, and the resilient lives woven throughout. Jun flew home, carrying gratitude for Brazil's kindness. Faces of friends lingered in memory. Despite Brazil's reputation, genuine warmth remained. She hoped kindness would continue shaping the country's evolving future. Back in Japan, Jun found comfort in a humble curry bun. The familiar taste anchored her. Though her journey ended, memories of Brazil's kindness and flavors would stay with her. Jun planned her next trip, Chicago. Drawn by affordable flights and the famed Bassmaster Classic, she saved diligently. The fishing event inspired her, offering new memories and a fresh adventure. Securing a ticket, Jun felt excitement surge. This was a dream fulfilled. A sudden message from Chicago Fishing Club appeared unexpected, welcoming. Encouraged, Jun prepared to embrace new experiences ahead. Communicating with the club, Jun explained her plans. Rob's friendly reply eased her worries. Their exchange sparked anticipation. June realized fishing connected people worldwide. Her Chicago journey was just beginning. June received Rob's message. Nervously, she waited. A white Chevrolet arrived. Rob waved cheerfully. Their meeting felt surreal. United by fishing, this friendship seemed destined. June's Chicago journey was truly beginning. Riding through Chicago, June marveled. Rob's kindness stood out. An American friend now guided her, a rare miracle. Rob dreamed of visiting Japan. For now, June absorbed every new experience. They reached the Hilton. Excitement filled the air. June prepared for the main event, Bassmaster Classic. This trip, once a dream, now unfolded step by step with Rob's help. June explored a tackle shop with Rob's friend. Curious about American fishing gear, she marveled at the differences. They planned tomorrow's fishing. Meanwhile, a craving for Chicago's famous hot dogs arose. Driving through Chicago, they chatted. June learned about local hot dogs, an American specialty. The destination, Portillo's. Anticipation built. Rob promised it would be the best hot dog she'd ever try. Arriving at Portillo's, June was ready. But then a surprise. A gun slipped from Rob's glove box. Shocked, June froze. The mood shifted. In America, even casual outings could take unexpected turns. June gasped at Rob's gun. Rob reassured her it was for safety. Laughing nervously, they drove to a famous hot dog joint. June noticed Chicago's rugged charm from the car window. They arrived at a bustling eatery. The crowd amazed June. Chicagoans dined casually, even in pajamas. The hot dog surprised her most. An enormous mound of fries buried everything underneath. June learned about Chicago's signature dish, deep-fried fries with hot dog, heavily seasoned. Eating required strategy. Rob explained it was a cultural ritual. June eagerly accepted the challenge with growing curiosity. June followed Rob to the car, their fries in hand. They sat and used the car as their table. The crisp fries delighted June. Chicago's casual food culture amazed her. June crunched the fries, savoring the flavor. Rob explained the local style: vinegar and onions, no ketchup. June was surprised the fries outshone the hot dog. Rob was pleased with her reaction. Full of fries, they rested. Rob shared how Chicago's fries had history and meaning. June agreed she wanted to revisit. The place's friendly vibe and unique taste stuck with her. June invited Rob to Japan, eager to share her favorite dishes. Rob smiled warmly, loving the idea. Though her job limited her, she promised to try. They laughed, friendship deepening. June rode in the car with Rob and friends. They rushed to a store only to find it closed. Frustrated, they quickly changed plans. Rob introduced his friend Kyle, a fishing pro. Kyle excitedly joined the group. They all headed to a new destination. Rob handed June a mysterious dish to try. Curious and slightly nervous, June wondered what surprise awaited her next. June stared at the dish in shock. Chicago pizza. The Americans explained its nature. June, intrigued, compared it to Japanese sizes. Laughter filled the table as cultural differences sparked friendly conversation. June learned about Chicago-style personal pizza. Detailed steps intrigued her. Thick crust, cheese beneath sauce. She admired the American twist. Eager, she anticipated tasting this rich, unfamiliar style of pizza soon. For breakfast, June browsed options: burgers, waffles, steak. Friends recommended hearty American meals. Overwhelmed but curious, June rested, preparing for her flight. Her next destination awaited. Adventure seemed endless and exciting. At the airport, June faced delays. Watching the schedule board, she sighed. Despite uncertainty, she remained calm. With suitcase in tow, June felt ready. New experiences and unknown lands awaited again. June discussed plans with friends. Left alone, she decided to explore. Grabbing her bag, she set out. Chicago's transit awaited her curiosity. The city held countless new scenes to discover. Boarding the train, June marveled at the passing views. Cityscapes framed by steel and glass fascinated her. She snapped photos, the blend of architecture and motion imprinting a vivid memory. Walking downtown, towering buildings captivated June. Their scale dwarfed Japan's structures. Inspired, she embraced the city's bold presence. Reflecting, June realized, exploring foreign places opened new ways of seeing the world. June wandered Chicago's streets, absorbing the vibrant scenery. From towering buildings to serene waterfronts, each scene etched itself in her mind. The city pulsed with life at every turn. She visited iconic landmarks, marveling at public art and architecture. Finding a quiet park, June lay on the grass, reflecting. Time here was well spent, her heart full of gratitude. Strolling onward, June sought one last meal before leaving. Thoughts of a comforting sandwich guided her steps. She embraced the freedom of wandering, savoring each moment of her journey. June arrived at a local steakhouse, intrigued by its authentic vibe. Inside, the atmosphere felt cozy. Glancing at the menu, her eyes widened. A breakfast T-bone steak was featured. Curious, June ordered the steak. The chef welcomed her warmly. As the sizzling meat arrived, its aroma filled the room. June marveled, eager to experience this unexpected breakfast delight firsthand. June examined the steak preparation guide, appreciating its simplicity and rich flavor potential. She savored each bite, the hearty meal energizing her. In that moment, breakfast in Chicago felt perfect. June's breakfast T-bone steak arrived, perfectly grilled. With each bite, she appreciated the rich flavor. Though the meat was tough, the smoky taste impressed her. America's hearty cooking felt satisfying. Finishing the steak, June reflected on her layover experience. Despite minor flaws, it exceeded her expectations. Boarding her next flight, she felt grateful. First class awaited a rare luxury. Relaxing in first class, June smiled. The unexpected upgrade made the journey smoother. She marveled at the comfort, knowing such moments made travel memorable. With that, her Chicago visit ended. Aboard the plane, June was surprised she could choose her steak's doneness. The in-flight meal exceeded expectations. Presented with a gourmet dish, she eagerly anticipated each bite of this unexpected luxury. Finishing her meal, June reflected. The steak was delicious, but pairing it with rice felt essential. She wished she could bring her rice bowl on board. Some habits remained hard to change. One late summer night, a woman drove alone through a mountain road. Returning after fishing, she kept the car steady. But soon, something odd appeared ahead, something that didn't belong there. As she approached slowly, strands of long black hair covered the road. Confused and scared, she noticed more hair tangled around the car. Panic surged. This was not normal, not human. Fear gripped her. The sight overwhelmed her senses. Slamming the gas pedal, she fled in terror. Screaming, heart racing, she escaped the scene, forever haunted by the eerie memory that night. Shaken by the hair incident, she drove toward a late-night convenience store. The bright lights offered comfort. Inside, snacks and smiles helped her relax, though the image of that road lingered. After buying treats, she resumed driving. The empty road felt eerie again. Memories of urban legends clouded her mind. Later, an abandoned building appeared, a new unsettling mystery she couldn't ignore. Morning came. With friends, she shared her strange experience. The car was full of chatter and laughter, but her thoughts drifted. Was it real, or a trick of fear and night? They discussed spooky fishing tales. She joined an evening trip by the sea. Under starlight, fishing calmed her, but a strange sensation, a chill, hinted something unseen was close by. She fished alone. The sea was quiet. As she ate, a ghostly hand briefly appeared. Startled, she blinked. Was it real? Her mind questioned her senses amid the peaceful night. Telling herself it was imagination, she resumed fishing. Yet unease remained. The dark sea seemed deeper, unknowable. Shadows flickered. Tonight's fish might not be the only thing lurking beneath the water. Hands gripped the pier. More appeared. Panic rose. She cried. But then a stranger calmly spoke, offering food. The surreal moment faded. Embarrassed, she left, unsure what she'd just encountered that night. Returning to friends, she recounted the eerie experience. They laughed, curious yet skeptical. Fishing resumed. Despite lingering unease, she caught fish, gaining newfound respect for Japan's cautionary tales about sea spirits. With fishing stories shared, they visited a local diner. The building looked inviting. Spirits forgotten, appetite returned. Tonight they'd trade rods for meals and perhaps still glance over their shoulders occasionally. She biked alone through cold streets, seeking warmth in nostalgia. Memories of fishing and travels lingered. Stumbling upon ruins, curiosity grew. She snapped photos, unaware that unseen eyes had noticed. Photos posted, an eerie warning followed. Spirits haunt those who document ruins. A friend's urgent advice flashed on screen: delete them, run. Unease crept in. She hesitated, gripping her phone tightly. Determined, she deleted the pictures and left. Each shadow now seemed alive. Her heart raced. She vowed, next time, respect what should be left undisturbed. The night swallowed her. She froze, rereading the warning. Fear surged. Her gamer instinct screamed, never backtrack. Clutching her phone, she hurried onward. The dark streets now felt alive. Something unseen was watching. Panic mounted with each step. Her body moved on instinct. Owen's words echoed, trust the feeling. Run. A faint light ahead. Safety, perhaps? Heart racing, she pedaled harder toward it. She burst into a ramen shop, breathless. Relief washed over her. Ordering tea and food, she tried to steady herself. The night outside still felt heavy. She remained alert. She studied the menu carefully. The fried cheese chicken combo intrigued her. It felt comforting after the night scare. Placing the order, She hoped the meal would ground her again. The dish arrived golden, crisp, inviting. With the first bite, her nerves eased, conversation flowed. The warmth of food and company softened the night's lingering tension. She savored every bite. Content, she gazed at the empty plate. The meal had restored her. Grateful, she noted how such simple pleasures revived both body and spirit. Sometimes, healing began with shared food. After paying, she prepared to leave. A staff member handed her purifying salt. "Don't look back," he warned. Curious but calm, she pedaled into the quiet night, salt in hand. The ride home felt different. The night air was thick with unseen weight. She wondered if the salt truly worked. Her unease deepened, but she pressed on, gaze fixed ahead. Back home, warmth returned with a simple meal. Reflecting on the night, she respected local beliefs. Some experiences defy reason. Eating quietly, she honored both the food and what remained unseen. They enjoyed a perfect evening, laughing under the stars. Talk of tomorrow's fishing trip sparked excitement. Spirits flowed freely, bonds deepened. For her, it wasn't about location, just being with friends. She dreamed of towering barrels and warm land. Awakening abruptly, urgency called. "Fishing," voices urged. Disoriented but eager, she prepared quickly. The day's adventure awaited, no time to waste now. The drive began. They reviewed plans, teasing lightly. No need to rush, timing mattered. She reflected on her dream. Maybe it meant something, maybe not. Either way, the journey continued. Morning drive replaced fishing plans. They journeyed toward a special barbecue. Along the way, they admired grazing horses. The second San Marcos miracle was nearby. Spirits were light, conversation easy. They stopped briefly. June greeted the friendly horses. The group prepared drinks, packing cold cola. The air buzzed with warmth and camaraderie. Everyone seemed relaxed, ready for a simple joy. June watched as the trunk opened, supplies ready. A mix of tradition and casual fun unfolded. Sharing stories, sipping cola, petting horses. It wasn't fishing, but it was perfect enough. June observed the gentle animals, used to human presence. Talks shifted to meeting the warden. Curiosity stirred. They arrived at a roaring fishway, prime fishing ahead. June's excitement quietly built. Fish thrived here, feeding well. June noticed the warden's kind demeanor. The place impressed her, accessible yet expertly run. Meanwhile, the village bustled. Another local, unexpected, entered the day's story. Back at base, supplies clinked. Cola bottles dominated. June mused cola wasn't just a drink here, but currency. She grasped how seamlessly local life mixed utility with casual joy. Sunset approached. Cola bottles stacked. Bats emerged en masse. June listened. Bats sensed approaching shifts. Nature's balance fascinated her. The warden explained bats signaled more than presence. They embodied subtle awareness. June learned bat behavior mirrored intuition, signs nature shared freely. With dusk deepening, sights shifted. The day's vibrance faded into a calm, layered atmosphere. Another plan beckoned, visiting Los Osuna. The journey continued. Los Osuna, a tequila distillery. Memories of last night's strong drink surfaced. Laughter followed. Curiosity outweighed caution. They drove ahead, ready to uncover another cultural layer. June arrived at Los Osuna. Vast agave fields stretched out. The tour began. Agave syrup's use intrigued her. Processing the plants fascinated. Tequila, syrup, and culture intertwined in this place. Welcomed warmly, June explored the distillery. Machinery transformed agave into liquid gold. The process was intricate yet elegant. June admired the craftsmanship, noting how tradition met modern technique seamlessly. Tasting began. "Taste of light," they said. June sipped carefully. Smooth warmth filled her senses. She smiled. Tequila here wasn't just a drink, it embodied generations of care and flavor. June hesitated. The tequila looked pure. One sip might be trouble. She watched others enjoy. Stories about alcohol's strength unnerved her. Moderation seemed wise. The glass stayed before her. Curious, June listened. Good drinkers stop early. The unaware keep drinking and die. The stark warning chilled her. Drinking could deceive. June's respect for moderation deepened. She sipped cautiously. Reflecting, June noted the hidden danger of indulgence. Quality masked risk. She'd learned a vital lesson, not just about spirits but restraint. Grateful, she smiled, thoughts already shifting to writing. June absorbed wisdom about agave spirits. Drinking wasn't only taste, culture and restraint mattered. The conversation shifted her thinking. Sobriety, moderation, and awareness emerged as valuable lessons to carry forward. A sudden nap overtook June. Awakening disoriented, she learned everyone siesta'd after drinks. Friendly smiles greeted her. Rest seemed natural here. A local rhythm she slowly began to appreciate. Time to return. Spirits refreshed, Jun joined the group. Small rituals, pouring water, gentle encouragement showed their bond. She felt grateful. The experience wasn't just about drinks, but human warmth. Jun returned to the lodge, sharing cake and coffee with friends. The cake, unexpectedly bad, drew laughter and grimaces. Amid new experiences, small moments like this bonded them closer. She traveled through an American airport. Hungry, she grabbed a sandwich. It looked bad but seemed edible. With doubts, she boarded the plane, unaware this simple meal would leave a mark. Stranded by delays, she opened the sandwich. Ham, lettuce, pickles stacked dry and tasteless. Cautiously, she took a bite. Her eyes widened. This was no ordinary disappointment. A battle began inside. Each bite grew worse. The lettuce bitter, the tomato mushy, the meat oddly sour. Additives masked flavor but failed. Disgusted, she sipped water, vowing never again would she trust airport food. Jun's friends admired David's fishing skill. Invited by him, Jun agreed nervously. Fishing wasn't her world, but tomorrow they'd visit a remote mountain lake. Jun quietly hoped for a good experience. Morning came. They drove far into the mountains. No shops, no crowds, only nature. Jun's heart raced. A vast lake appeared. David prepared lines. Jun held back, unsure, observing this quiet ritual. David caught fish effortlessly. Jun watched, amazed, then hungry. She opened David's signature meal, protein crackers and mineral water. Simple, reliable. Smiling, she joined the meal, another small step into David's world. Jun disliked protein-heavy snacks but kept eating them while traveling with David. She pondered America's obsession with convenience and nutrition. Despite her dislike, she quietly followed along, masking her discomfort. During another fishing trip, David sent Jun alone to buy supplies. Feeling pressured, she braved the unfamiliar store. A simple errand turned daunting in a country with different rules and habits. Exhausted, Jun sought comfort at a small restaurant. Sitting alone, she eyed the menu. Original meatball pasta caught her attention. Smiling faintly, she decided a warm meal was exactly needed. At the restaurant, Jun ordered confidently. Unsure about American menu structure, she chose a familiar dish. As a Japanese visitor, she noticed how different meal portions and categories were here. The spaghetti and meatballs arrived. It looked perfect. Jun smiled and took a bite. Instantly, disappointment hit. Overcooked noodles, odd meat texture. What looked good wasn't always satisfying to eat. Jun reflected on the meal. It was visually appealing but poorly made. She realized appearance wasn't enough. Still learning, she quietly vowed, next time, she'd choose her meals more wisely. After a disappointing meal, Jun craved something reliable. At the store, she bought yogurt. Returning to her room, she tasted it, shockingly bad again. Travel meals weren't going her way. Determined, Jun reflected on better cooking. She imagined making proper spaghetti at home, good meatballs, fresh sauce, balanced flavors. In her mind, she rebuilt the meal that had left her disappointed. Time passed. Holding her vaccination certificate, Jun prepared to return home. The journey had taught her much about food, patience, and herself. With a small smile, she faced her flight. At last, Jun could travel again. A new country awaited. Boarding her flight, she messaged Owen, taking off now. Excited and hopeful, she embraced the next chapter of her journey. She received Owen's message mid-flight. Reflecting on pandemic memories, she opened her meal. The food, a simple comfort, reminded her how life and flavors were once shared without fear. Staring out the window, she smiled faintly. The flight, rough yet steady, mirrored her thoughts. Memories of distant places and warm meals filled her mind as the journey quietly continued. Curious, she asked about the fish dish. The attendant explained kindly, rice, soup, trout, familiar yet new. Grateful, she savored each bite, tasting stories of resilience within the humble meal. She studied the kanji before her. Curiosity clashed with caution. A shrimp-topped porridge seemed unfamiliar. Her first hesitant taste triggered surprise, the texture, the flavor, so unlike anything she'd known. Confused, she noticed another passenger dipping bread into kanji. Unsure, she tried the same but disliked the result. The thought lingered, was her cultural instinct correct, or just stubborn habit? Memories surfaced. A past visit to Oregon, a warm welcome at a Japanese-run restaurant. Laughter, shared meals, cultural pride. The scene reminded her, flavor and understanding transcend traditions and borders. Presented with Hawaiian tuna salad, she tasted curiosity and delight. The dish, bold yet familiar, bridged cultures. Amid friendly chatter, she reflected food held stories deeper than simple flavors revealed. She joined the children's excitement. The spicy, colorful meal captivated her. Yet one thought lingered: without rice, it felt incomplete. She craved that grounding comfort, a taste of home. On the road again, talk of barbecue sparked new anticipation. Cultural reflections followed admiration mixed with unease. She pondered. Food connects, but prejudice persists. Understanding others remained an ongoing journey. Driving through the night, she reflected on America's gun culture. Stories and statistics weighed heavy. In this land of freedom and fear, normalcy seemed fragile, masked by smiles and celebration. Arriving at a closed diner, they hesitated. A kind woman greeted them, embodying warmth beneath the surface tension. Negotiations turned simple. A single burger, freshly prepared, felt like hope. Gratitude filled the moment. The server, recognizing her Japanese roots, smiled genuinely. Across languages and cultures, kindness prevailed. In this unfamiliar land, human connection proved stronger than fear or difference. Inside, humor bridged cultures. The American host's joke caught her off guard, but warmth prevailed. A unique burger was promised, Japanese fusion on American soil. She awaited it, intrigued. The wasabi teriyaki burger preparation fascinated her. Techniques and flavors blended both worlds. Care and thought shaped every layer. It wasn't just food, it was a symbol of shared experiences. One bite revealed bold harmony. Sweet, spicy, rich, unforgettable. Sitting there, she thought, if this counts as a burger, it's the best she'd ever had. Connection, culture, taste all fused. She savored the burger's layered flavors. Amid reflections on prejudice and fusion, one thought stood clear: food could bridge divides. Finishing the meal, she smiled. This memory would stay with her. Landing in Taiwan, a new chapter awaited. Each journey added meaning, a personal domino of experiences. Gazing at the familiar airport lights, she felt both grounded and eager for what's next. Morning revealed a surprise, her image on social media. Amused, she embraced the unexpected spotlight. Moments like these small, delightful stitched joy into the fabric of her travel experiences. Later, she admired local cuisine. Each bite, a new discovery. Sharing the joy with friends, she felt the thrill of culinary exploration. Taiwan promised more: a compact land, rich in flavors. Driving through familiar streets, she pondered Taiwan's charm. Similarities to Japan offered comfort, yet subtle differences intrigued her. This journey, bridging past and present, deepened her appreciation for culture and connection. Driving through Taiwan, she compared it to Japan. Familiar yet distinct, the streets evoked memories. Plans formed future trips, new places. Her travels became a bridge between understanding and curiosity. Thoughts drifted to the pandemic's onset. Fear had gripped the world, uncertainty clouded every plan. She recalled headlines, rising counts, and a shrinking sense of safety. It was an era marked forever. Back then, hope seemed distant, yet now, she traveled again, cautious but grateful. With tempered joy, she embraced each moment. Some scars remained unseen, but resilience carried her forward, undeterred. During the pandemic, she followed each guideline, unsure what lay ahead. Yet humanity's swift progress surprised her. Vaccines, resilience, the world had adapted. Now, her first post-pandemic trip had begun. Driving through Taiwan, she marveled: familiar, yet new. Strolling past nostalgic shops, she embraced each sight. The joy of simple moments returned. This journey, long awaited, rekindled her traveler's spirit. Fishing in clear waters, she caught a shimmering trout. A small mission, fulfilled. Later, a sweet local dessert offered comfort. With every experience, her heart swelled gratitude for life's regained freedom. Wearing sunglasses, they embraced the day's adventures. Fishing complete, playful banter flowed. Amid reflections on taste and culture, she realized staying curious, not overthinking, made each moment more vibrant and rich. After fishing, a feast awaited. Taiwanese dishes overflowed with color and flavor. Each bite offered discovery. Sweet fruits followed, vibrant, refreshing. She marveled, food could speak across cultures without a word. Savoring duhua, she pondered differences in eating norms. Japan, Taiwan, each with unique quirks. She smiled. These contrasts enriched her travels. Openness, she thought, was the true secret to enjoyment. A discussion about grapes sparked reflection. He disliked their sweetness. She was surprised. In this simple exchange, cultural preferences surfaced. She realized even in shared pleasures, tastes and values could differ. They explored the notion of balance in food. Too much refinement, too much sweetness, both lost essence. Rice, perfectly prepared, embodied this lesson. Moderation, they agreed, preserved authenticity and enjoyment. She pondered these insights. Taiwan's approach to fruit resonated with her. Not everything needed excess polish. Appreciating natural flavors, she thought, mirrored life itself. Beauty often lay in restraint and simplicity. At the market, vibrant displays drew her in. Sugar apples, famed and sought after, caught her eye. Guided by a local friend, she learned the fruit's allure: rare, beloved, perfectly ripe. Curious, she tasted one. Soft and sweet, it melted gently. The experience was novel, delightful. Each bite deepened her appreciation. Exploring Taiwan's fruits had become an adventure of unexpected joys. A broader lesson unfolded. Taiwan's bounty extended far beyond sugar apples. Watermelons, avocados, mangoes each offered unique pleasures. She realized food wasn't just nourishment, it was a gateway to culture, connection. Tasting the sugar apples stunned her. Sweet, rich, almost unreal, nature's perfect dessert. It defied expectations. Laughter followed as they compared flavors. Through playful banter, she gained a deeper respect for simple joys. Debates continued. Was sweeter always better? Opinions clashed lightheartedly. Amid the teasing, she reflected everyone's palate held its own truth. Food wasn't just about flavor, it sparked conversation, connection, understanding. As they wandered the countryside, she savored both scenery and sugar apple. In this quiet moment, the day's experiences settled in. Traveling wasn't just discovery, it was learning to truly appreciate. As she wandered, a nostalgic yet unfamiliar feeling grew. Taiwan reminded her of Japan's past, yet stood apart. Determined to savor every moment, she embraced this living blend of memory and discovery. More flavors beckoned. Amid playful teasing, plans for dinner took shape. Laughter filled the air. She smiled. Travel wasn't just about tasting food, but sharing joy through each new experience. She faced the stinky tofu with resolve. Victory tasted sweet. Curiosity followed. Was there anything he disliked? Yes, Kanyaku. Surprised, she pondered how personal tastes often defy logic and pattern. Their conversation deepened. Generational gaps, cultural roots, personal quirks, food bridged them all. Despite differences, they connected over shared joys. Through these exchanges, she glimpsed how meals nurtured both body and understanding. They discussed hobbies, fishing, friendships, life's varied paths. In this warmth, she realized even strangers could bond through simple pleasures. The day's journey affirmed a universal truth: food brings people together. She pondered Taiwan's charm. Why did its culture resonate so deeply? Talking with locals, she learned simplicity, warmth, and subtle historical ties shaped these experiences. Familiarity lingered beneath each new discovery. Their conversation turned playful. Bananas as gifts, childhood memories, shifting tastes, cultures intertwined. Through laughter, she saw how small customs revealed deeper truths about people, connection, and the evolving rhythms of life. An early reunion brought fresh energy. Teasing words and smiles marked the moment. Amid warm greetings and new faces, she embraced the day ahead, another chapter in this unfolding journey. Reunions sparked lively chatter. A towering friend drew admiration. Soon, the group headed out, embracing a day of fishing and feasting. Each shared moment deepened bonds formed through food, fun, and friendship. Fishing at Sun Moon Lake, they savored tea and local delicacies. She noticed how flavors echoed memories. Tea lingered warmly, embodying Taiwanese hospitality. Simple rituals, she realized, enriched both meal and soul. A conversation on soups followed. In Taiwan, broths held special reverence. Smiling, she thought food wasn't just sustenance here. It was a cherished art, connecting past and present through comforting warmth. Nightfall brought vibrant streets alive. Taiwan's cuisine, rooted in Chinese influences yet distinct, fascinated her. Broths, in particular, stood out. Each sip revealed depth, a quiet testament to culinary reverence here. Exploring the bustling scene, they found a popular porridge shop. Familiar yet fresh, the atmosphere brimmed with local charm. She realized Taiwan embraced both tradition and evolution, weaving them seamlessly together. Tasting the dish, she marveled. Flavors transcended borders, shaped by history yet uniquely Taiwanese. In this bowl, she glimpsed the essence of travel, understanding through food. One meaningful bite at a time. She learned about Taiwanese seafood, gruel, humble yet intricate. Each element, from rice to broth to toppings, reflected care. Understanding deepened. True culinary artistry often lay in elevating the simplest dishes. Tasting the gruel, she smiled. The broth's depth surprised her. Flavors unfolded gently. Gratitude filled her heart. Such moments made travel worthwhile. Sharing a joyful high five, the group savored the experience. Reflecting on the dish, she marveled. Seafood, broth, rice, each component shone. Taiwan's cuisine taught her anew. Food wasn't about flash, but sincerity. With each bite, appreciation and understanding grew. Amid shared laughter, a spicy mishap added humor to the meal. Tears aside, flavors shone. She reflected after delays and distance. Returning to travel and friendship felt more meaningful than ever. Each spoonful delighted her. The broth's warmth, the noodle's texture, pure joy. Savoring the moment, she expressed heartfelt gratitude. Connection, culture, and cuisine had merged, enriching her long-awaited visit. In Tainan, she explored mango history. The beloved fruit's journey fascinated her from humble origins to famed sweetness. Taiwan's dedication to flavor mirrored its spirit, respect for craft, rooted in care. Visiting a heritage orchard, she admired the mango trees. Legends and labor shaped each harvest. Anticipation built. Their next stop promised shaved ice, a perfect way to savor summer's bounty together. A towering mango shaved ice delighted her. One bite vibrant, refreshing, wholly unique. Smiling, she thought, through each dish, Taiwan's warmth shone. Travel's true joy lay in these shared discoveries. After the mango feast, she prepared for a solo day. Determined to explore independently, she embraced the quiet thrill of unfamiliar streets, ready to let new experiences shape her path. Public transit surprised her, efficient and familiar, yet distinctly Taiwanese. Reaching her destination, she reflected on the contrast between light-hearted outings and today's solemn visit. Curiosity and respect guided each step. At the National Human Rights Museum, the atmosphere shifted. Accepting an audio guide, she prepared to learn. Here, food and fun gave way to history's weight, understanding deepened through solemn reflection. She visited the Human Rights Museum, drawn by a game's story. History, once abstract, now felt visceral. The exhibits revealed lives disrupted, resilience born, a sobering reminder of freedom's fragile cost. Among artifacts, one moment stood out: simple tableware evoking shared humanity. Oppression dehumanized, yet everyday life persisted. She left moved, reminded that behind history's grand narratives lived countless quiet, enduring stories. Emerging, she reflected, lifting others' stories mattered. Wearing a modest souvenir tee, she embraced both solemnity and gratitude. Taiwan's spirit, balancing past and present, resonated deeply. Her journey would now continue. To end her journey, she visited Japanese department stores in Taiwan. Familiar brands, bustling crowds, a curious contrast. The scene stirred reflection, how cultural threads wove comfort into unfamiliar places. Inside, nostalgia mingled with observation. Styles felt both current and timeless. Among busy shoppers, she sensed resilience, life resuming after hardship. Quietly, she celebrated the simple beauty of shared, everyday rhythms. Memories surfaced: past trips, personal growth. Here, among strangers, she felt connection. The moment reaffirmed a truth: through change and distance, people seek joy, continuity, and community. That hope transcends borders. She reflected on Taiwan's youth, their hope, energy, and resilience. Amid economic shifts, the future pulsed brightly through them. Observing their spirit, she felt renewed belief in the enduring power of optimism. As dusk fell, street stalls came alive. A humble mantou stand caught her eye. Taiwan's richness wasn't just in grand sights, she thought, but in everyday warmth shared over simple, beloved foods. Biting into soft mantou, she smiled. From bustling streets to quiet moments, her journey neared its close. Taiwan had gifted her stories, flavors, and friendships, all to be treasured deeply. She learned how mantou was made: simple ingredients elevated through care. Watching the process deepened her appreciation. In every culture, humble foods held timeless stories. Anticipation grew for that first bite. Savoring the fresh mantou, she smiled. The warmth, softness, and light sweetness spoke of home, even in a foreign land. She wondered, how could one preserve such fleeting, perfect moments? Nearby, young voices brimmed with excitement about visiting Japan. Their joy mirrored her own past travels. She reflected, as long as curiosity thrived, the world remained endlessly rich with discovery. As night fell, city lights shimmered beneath a starry sky. She gazed at Taipei, heart full. In this journey's quiet close, one truth remained: this country too was truly spectacular. She rode alone toward the dam, recalling old part-time days. The path, once bustling, now silent. Despite hunger, she pressed on, her heart tied to distant memories of youthful freedom. The closed road sign halted her ride, gas running low, caution tugged. Young and unsure, she weighed her options: turn back hungry, or gamble on finding ramen once traveled before. A faded ramen sign appeared, disbelief flickered. She stopped, double-checked. The road whispered nostalgia. Turning back felt wrong, this was fate. Determined, she advanced, wheels spinning toward a meal remembered. She arrived at a lone ramen shack, deep in the mountains. The sign, familiar yet eerie. Memories surfaced. Entering, unease grew. A strange warmth contrasted the isolation outside. Eyes met hers, young women stared silently. It wasn't a restaurant, it was a cult gathering. The girls bustled, smiles masking their odd ritualistic air. Her instinct screamed, beware. A cheerful girl served noodles with an unsettling welcome. Thick books lined the shelves. Relax, read, they urged. She hesitated. Escape seemed wise, but curiosity pulled her deeper in. Books filled with cryptic wisdom, no recipes in sight. Each sentence layered with strange meaning. She feigned reading, wary. The atmosphere thickened. Intentions of the group remained unsettling, unclear. Seeking comfort, she found a seat, clutching a random book. The cultist smiled knowingly. Steam rose from her bowl. Ramen appeared. Apprehension lingered as the first sip neared her lips. Shoyu ramen, perfectly served. Side dishes followed. It won't kill me. Probably, she thought. Cautiously she ate. The taste rich, nostalgic, yet a nagging unease remained. Something was definitely off. The first bite stunned her. Amazing ramen. Hunger faded into pure delight. Every element broth, noodles, sides perfect. Despite the cultish vibe, the food's sincerity cut through. A rare, unforgettable experience began. She savored each bite, mind racing. Could one trust such flavors in a place like this? Pretense aside, this was true craftsmanship. Annoying cult chatter faded into background noise. Leaving the table, thoughts lingered. Reject medicine? Holistic nonsense? Maybe. But here, food transcended belief. A simple, good meal, no judgment, no labels. Grateful, she paid, parting with quiet thanks. She thanked them politely. Smiles lingered too long. Outside, receipt in hand, she discovered talismans and a cult brochure. Calmly, she burned them, deciding one visit was already too much. Mounting her bike, she sped away. The ride home felt lighter, half relief, half reflection. Next time, she thought, choose ramen without spiritual strings attached. Good food, no tricks. Years later, curiosity drew her back. The place lay abandoned, windows shattered, silence heavy. The odd chapter ended. Only one truth remained. Damn good ramen can come from anywhere. She returned, now older, finding ruins. Footprints, debris, signs of sudden departure. Artifacts scattered. Memory whispered. Reality warps perception. What was real? Ramen, cult, or just an ordinary place? A different girl arrived by chance. Story long forgotten, the building's shell stood silent. Faded sign, eerie echoes. She felt the weight of stories past curiosity mingling with disbelief. Despite modern choices, the ramen remained lost. No vendor, no recipe could match it. Some things brief, strange fade with time. Yet memory lingers, urging one to chase flavors long gone. As a middle schooler, she fished daily, drawn to quiet streams. Mountains called her, often alone, seeking peace in nature's rhythm. Rod in hand, adventure awaited beyond familiar trails. Each climb led deeper. Solitude felt comforting. No roads, no people, just her and the fish. The thrill of discovery fueled her steps, heart light with youthful purpose. A hidden pond became her haven. Casting lines, she embraced the danger. One slip meant trouble. Yet the freedom outweighed risk. Each catch sparked joy, feeding her restless spirit. The pond felt like hers alone, a secret world. Each visit deepened her bond with the place. Fishing became both skill and meditation. The seasons changed. The pond remained timeless. With each cast, she learned. The pond taught patience, observation. Wisteria bloomed vividly, her heart swelled with quiet joy. Time drifted. She returned often, each visit adding layers to her story. One day, curiosity sparked. How far can I go today, she wondered. Venturing further, something new caught her eye: lush loquat trees, heavy with fruit, standing quietly beyond the shore. She reached out, plucking ripe loquats. Lucky day! A bite revealed rich flavor better than any before. Wide-eyed, she savored nature's hidden gift, one more layer added to her adventure. The loquat's taste surprised her, unlike anything known. Childhood joy resurfaced. From that day she chronicled every wild fruit tried. The pond became both fishing spot and a forager's paradise. Seasons passed, yet the wonder remained. Wild flavors lingered in memory. Each new visit brought curiosity: what else lay hidden? Still, despite it all, fishing stayed her truest joy. Suddenly a wild boar. Her heart froze. Fear surged. Danger was real here. Instinct shouted, stay calm. She retreated quietly to her boat, gaze locked with the animal's sharp eyes. Boars, bears, deer, these mountains teemed with wildlife. The boar watched, tense. She felt small, exposed. Slowly she drifted to safety. The encounter left a mark: nature's power undeniable, humbling. Even as dusk fell, she remained wary. Sounds hinted at unseen watchers. Time to go home, she decided. Yet despite the risks, tomorrow, surely she would return to fish. Curious, she returned for loquats but found only stripped branches. Something else had come first. Young as she was, she felt no loss. Nature's rhythm continued, she'd witnessed its cycle. Now grown, she recalled those days fondly. Friends listened, amused. The pond was gone, dangers remained. Yet her childhood curiosity, shaped by wild places, still stirred beneath her calm. The pond's absence left no regret. Some places, some moments, aren't meant to stay unchanged. With a knowing smile, she embraced the lesson. Nature moves on, and so must we. Over coffee they reflected. The thrill of danger with discovery seemed lost. Yet memories remained precious. Amid laughter, the world still felt vibrant though now. Charming faces filled every corner. Through every fiber she felt it, her world now shaped by endless 2D indulgence. Reality blurred, yet amidst the haze, life still sparkled warm, fleeting, and always surrounded by smiling faces. They set out by car. First stop the airport. Bananas caught her eye, odd but amusing. Another errand followed traditional tofu shop. The day's small adventures began to pile up. The next morning, a cheerful gift, bananas from overseas. She pondered their meaning, amused. Later, at the tea house, warm bread and tea awaited. A calm moment began to unfold. She sipped the local blend, appreciating the cozy atmosphere. Conversation touched on changing coffee culture. Smiling, she noted how simple pleasures like tea and friendly company could still brighten any day. She reflected on Taiwan's tea culture, now mixing Western flavors. Coffee, bread, burgers appeared everywhere. Tastes changed. Still, the comfort of simple tea remained close to her heart, unchanged. Exploring further, a melon drink caught her eye. Childhood memories surfaced, tea with grandparents, simple joys. Laughing, she embraced the small moment, reminded that even brief experiences could resonate deeply. Later, they discussed fishing and ramen. Both passions offered connection, joy. Tales of perfect ramen near fishing spots intrigued her. The journey wasn't just about fish or food but discovery. She shared her ramen story. Not about trendy spots, she preferred plain, honest bowls. Memories surfaced, a hidden ramen place near Lake Biwa. It wasn't glamorous but unforgettable in its own way. They arrived. The place seemed shady, rundown exterior, odd signs. Yet a line had formed. Curiosity overcame doubt. Sometimes the most humble appearances hide the best flavors. She decided to trust it. Inside, service was swift. A steaming bowl arrived, wonton noodles, their signature dish. One sip confirmed it. This place understood ramen. Quality mattered, not appearances. Sometimes the crowd knew best. She tasted the first bite, sweet, salty, rich with umami. The balance was perfect, surprising yet comforting. No wonder the place was packed. Some flavors spoke louder than appearance ever could. Each bite deepened the experience. Smooth broth, tender wontons. Flavors built with care, leaving her both satisfied and wanting more. Good ramen was life-affirming, a moment to pause, savor, remember. Afterward, they reflected. Some places, despite appearances, drew crowds for a reason. New Year's or not, people sought that comfort. She smiled. Life was good when shared with good ramen. The next ramen spot smelled intense, crowded, chaotic. She hesitated. Inside, warm greetings welcomed her. Kit Kyushu style, they explained. Curiosity won over caution. Another bowl, another story about to begin. One sip, and surprise followed. Thick, almost creamy broth, not too salty, just simple and good. They shared bites, smiles. Sometimes the best ramen wasn't about flash, just honest, satisfying flavor. Satisfied, they leaned back. Choices remained ahead, but for now, simple contentment filled the table. Ramen adventures had a way of bonding friends, one delicious bowl at a time. They joked about last meals. One friend spoke of living with no regrets. Laughter followed. Yet beneath the smiles they shared an unspoken truth. Each good meal was worth savoring. Talk shifted to ramen's culture. In some places, obsession ran deep, almost like religion. Thick broths, bold flavors drew loyal crowds. But too much devotion? Even ramen needed mindful balance. She sat before the dish. Steam rose as the crust broke open. A creamy mass revealed itself beneath. Without hesitation, she prepared to carve through the indulgent, molten layers. The knife sliced deep. Rivers of cheese poured out, enveloping the plate. Each bite delivered warmth and weight. Methodically, she worked through the richness, determined to complete the decadent meal. A chilled drink arrived, cutting through the lingering heaviness. Outside, winter loomed. Inside, comfort remained. Finished, she reflected briefly, then stood. The city awaited, cold yet alive beyond the door. Returning from Taiwan, she received a message. Memories of warmth flickered amid Illinois' bitter cold. Responsibilities loomed. Freelance life offered freedom but uncertainty. The pandemic shadow weighed on every choice. She sat alone, pondering the question, return to America. Risks remained. Life in Taiwan felt safer, slower. yet her heart drifted. The world outside her window offered no easy answers. Calendar days slipped past. Chicago called, familiar yet uncertain. She hesitated, aware of lingering dangers. A place never feels quite like home. Decisions waited. For now, she remained still. She learned of a hidden lake near a nuclear plant, steaming even in winter. An invitation arrived, a rare fishing event in February. Without hesitation, she decided to go. She applied for travel clearance. Packing swiftly, she prepared for her return. After years away, a flight to Chicago awaited. Landing felt surreal. Everything was familiar yet distant. Cold air bit through layers as she stepped off the train. The city embraced her with frost. For the first time in years, she faced Chicago once more. She arrived in America to explore. Chicago's towering skyline greeted her. Cold winds swept the streets. With each step, old memories mixed with new impressions. The city felt immense. Bundled in layers, she navigated downtown. The magnificent mile stretched ahead, familiar, yet strange after so long. The bustling avenue shimmered with energy. Curiosity propelled her deeper into the cityscape. She gazed upward at towering hotels. Stories of luxury and history surrounded her. A quiet resolve formed to experience it all. Just then, something caught her eye. She paused. At the hotel desk, she confirmed her booking. Unexpectedly, an upgrade awaited, the executive suite. The offer came with one condition: her stay would be part of the hotel's publicity. Grateful, she accepted. The Bellerton Hotel carried deep Chicago history. Politeness bridged cultural gaps. She reflected on subtle differences between Japanese and American hospitality while navigating this unique experience abroad. Alone in the corridor, suitcase in hand, she pondered her journey. Luxury wasn't her aim. Observing contrasts, she sought understanding, not indulgence. Here, amid unfamiliar comforts, her exploration quietly continued. Inside the suite, she admired the room. Despite her frugal mindset, the upgrade delighted her. Exchange rates favored her visit. With meals planned simply, she embraced small joys first. She explored local flavors, pot pie, groceries from nearby stores, and casual eats. Between outings, she relaxed in the suite, savoring both food and fleeting moments of solitude and rest. Italian beef, a famed Chicago dish, became her next taste adventure. Though large and indulgent, she embraced it. Comparing portions and calories to Japan amused her. Her exploration through flavors continued. The next morning, she sought a recommended pancake cafe. Chicago's winter streets remained brisk. Her friends' excited tips echoed. Brunch was prime time. Eager, she ventured out to explore. The cafe seemed unassuming. Inside, warmth and chatter filled the air. Greeted enthusiastically by a lively waiter, she was seated. The atmosphere was casual, inviting, promising a comforting meal. The waiter's energy charmed her. Amid conversation, cultural moments surfaced. Sharing laughter and language, the simple brunch became memorable. Through such encounters, she glimpsed the city's layered, vibrant spirit. She ordered the house's famed buttermilk pancakes. The cheerful waiter's banter lightened the mood. The cafe's vibrant energy felt contagious. Amid chatter, she marveled at how food bridged worlds effortlessly. As she waited, her curiosity grew. Recipes adorned the menu, bold, playful. The pancake's story unfolded in detailed steps. Here, even cooking instructions conveyed warmth and an unexpected sense of joy. Batter sizzled on the griddle. The process was celebrated as much as the result. Anticipation built. Through simple ingredients, mastery emerged. For her, this meal now held deeper meaning. The pancakes arrived golden, stacked high, real maple syrup gleamed. She prepared each bite carefully. The first taste confirmed it, rich, crisp, unlike anything at home. Differences elevated the experience. Each bite revealed contrasts: American boldness, Japanese precision. She savored both paths. Through this simple dish, she glimpsed cultural diversity. Such flavors, uniquely American, deepened her understanding of place through food. She reflected on culinary identity. Ingredients shaped outcomes, local choices mattered. Beyond technique, culture spoke through each dish. Content, she strolled onward, curious, open, ready to explore Chicago's flavors anew. Chicago's winter air bit sharply. Still, she smiled. More sights, more flavors awaited. The cafe's charm lingered. Perhaps music or a late-night visit would reveal another side of the city. She visited the Museum of Contemporary Art in Chicago. Strange performances unfolded before her. Observing in silence, she pondered the meaning. The experience felt surreal, yet oddly fitting for the day. Leaving the museum, she sought a simpler pleasure. A nearby sandwich shop caught her eye. Drawn by curiosity and hunger, she entered, ready for her next small discovery. She received her sandwich and found a seat. The warmth and texture satisfied her. Each bite reminded her of the city's charm, unexpected moments layered between everyday experiences. After her meal, she strolled the streets. Options beckoned. A quick search revealed an unexpected pickle shop nearby. Intrigued, she planned her next stop, savoring the city's small surprises. To reach it, she boarded a city bus. Public transit felt unfamiliar but manageable, she observed quietly. The ride became another layer of discovery in her unfolding Chicago journey. A fellow passenger initiated conversation. They discussed cultures and martial arts. The encounter felt warm and spontaneous. Through shared curiosity, strangers connected one more unexpected thread in her American experience. On the bus, their conversation veered toward spiritual topics. She followed politely, unsure how to respond. The chat soon ended as her companion reached their stop, leaving her quietly thoughtful. Grateful for the stranger's warmth, she resumed her plan. Wandering again, her mind returned to food. New ideas formed as she strolled, curiosity guiding each step through the city. Passing luxury stores, she observed cultural contrasts. The styling and presentation differed from Japan. The city's varied expressions intrigued her, adding yet another layer to her growing understanding of America. She searched for a fishing tackle shop. A surprising find appeared tucked beside luxury boutiques. Curious, she entered, uncertain what awaited inside such an unexpected location within the magnificent mile. The store revealed a full department of fishing gear. Rods, tackle, and apparel filled the space. Amused, she explored, noting differences from shops back home. Curiosity overpowered initial hesitation. A staff member approached warmly. Conversation turned to practical gear. She explained her needs, bridging cultures through a shared hobby. Here, even fishing revealed new layers of cultural exchange. A staff member greeted her warmly, revealing past travels to Japan. Conversation flowed easily. Connections emerged, shared interests, language, and culture blending seamlessly within the unlikely setting of the tackle shop. They discussed tenkara fishing and favorite Japanese foods. A cup of warm lemonade was offered. Grateful, she accepted. Simple gestures deepened the exchange, bridging distance through warmth and curiosity. She sipped slowly, savoring the moment. The staff continued sharing insights. Surrounded by unfamiliar goods, she felt welcomed. Hospitality transcended expectations, leaving her with a sense of comfort and connection. The impeccable service made her feel obligated to buy something. Choosing recommended gloves, she completed the purchase. The experience reaffirmed how kindness and attentiveness could powerfully influence one's actions. At checkout, the conversation shifted to local foods. The staff suggested trying a cheeseburger next. Intrigued, she added it to her growing list of culinary adventures in Chicago. Playful exchanges followed. The cultural differences amused her. Enthusiastic, she accepted the suggestion. Another local dish awaited. With each encounter, her understanding of American life grew deeper and more personal. She chose to try the famous cheeseburgers next. Gloves on, she braved the cold. The quirky sign, "No Pepsi, Coke," amused her. Determined, she continued through the bustling streets. Navigating an underpass, she approached the renowned eatery. Though the setting felt like a movie scene, she pressed on. The promise of an authentic local experience guided her steps. Inside, the atmosphere was casual and lively. At the counter, she prepared to order. Simplicity ruled here. Cheeseburger, she decided, embracing the straightforward charm of this beloved Chicago institution. She ordered an Obama-to-go cheeseburger, amused by the local slang. Awaiting her meal, she absorbed the casual, quirky atmosphere. Soon, her anticipation grew as the fresh burger arrived. She examined the simple burger, cheese, beef, bun. Taking her first bite, flavor surprised her. The patty was rich and bold, the bread unexpectedly soft. Simplicity elevated each mouthful to excellence. Without added toppings, the burger's pure taste shone. It echoed old-school charm. She savored the meal slowly, appreciating the cultural experience, another memorable chapter in her ongoing Chicago food journey. She finished her cheeseburger, reflecting on the experience. Chicago's food culture revealed unexpected depth. The casual conversation continued, blending light moments with practical advice about navigating the city safely. She absorbed tips on the burger's local significance. The preparation, though simple, held tradition. Understanding deepened her appreciation. Chicago's layers unfolded through flavors, history, and encounters that enriched her journey. The next day, she ventured out again. Rob arrived with a cheerful greeting. Familiar faces brought comfort amid exploration. Another chapter in her Chicago adventure was about to begin. After 5 years apart, they reunited warmly. In Japan, such gestures felt uncommon. But here, hugs came naturally. Differences in culture enriched her experience, making each moment feel newly meaningful. Together, they set off. Plans formed effortlessly, tacos on the way, new memories ahead. Laughter and companionship guided their steps. For her, this world now sparkled with joyful encounters. After meeting, they headed out. First stop, tackle shop, then tacos for the road. Excitement filled the car as they sped toward the fishing spot, eager for the day ahead. They arrived early, under cover of night. Parking was crowded with dedicated anglers. She marveled at the scene, familiar yet foreign. The anticipation of open season stirred quiet excitement within her. Waiting in the car, they prepared for the gates opening. Warm inside, they shared stories and laughs. The moment felt special, an early morning adventure, embraced with friendship and anticipation. They rested briefly in the car, bundled against the cold. The fishing day awaited. Before dawn, she stepped out quietly. Under a starry sky, the world felt vast and still. She gazed upward, awed by the stars. The scene reminded her of home, yet felt distant. In this moment, beneath unfamiliar skies, her journey seemed both surreal and profound. Morning arrived with thick mist. Visibility faded. Preparations continued amid tense excitement. She observed the dedication around her. The day's challenge began not only with nature, but with navigating unfamiliar rhythms. They prepared the boat, checking equipment. Amid the chatter, she stayed focused on fishing. Eager to start, she absorbed each detail, ready to embrace her first American bass fishing experience. Out on the water, excitement swelled. The lake shimmered under morning light. Rods in hand, they cast lines. For her, this moment felt like a personal milestone in her journey. The day progressed with mixed luck. Conversations drifted between fishing tips and shared memories. Though catches were scarce, camaraderie flourished. She welcomed each moment, finding joy beyond the fish themselves. At the dock, she observed newcomers unloading boats. The scene triggered memories of her grandfather, his love for fishing, his quiet determination. These reflections deepened her connection to today's experience. She recalled childhood moments by the water. Her grandfather's presence remained vivid. Though oceans apart, the rhythm of this American outing mirrored cherished memories, bridging time and place within her. Back on land, plans shifted to burgers. Though tired, she welcomed the suggestion. Shared moments and simple pleasures mattered most. Energized by camaraderie, she looked forward to continuing the day. They drove toward dinner, laughter filling the car. The bond between friends, despite distance, felt strong. She reflected on how such moments, simple and warm, made her journey unforgettable. At the restaurant, they ordered eagerly. The local atmosphere intrigued her. Conversations sparked curiosity and camaraderie. For her, the blend of cultures and experiences added richness to this American adventure. They chatted about life, marriage, and independence. Questions stirred reflection. Though far from home, she embraced the moment, grateful for new friendships, new insights, and the freedom to shape her path. They joked and reflected on relationships. Differences between cultures and personal choices surfaced. For her, it was a moment of introspection, appreciating both freedom and connection in this unfamiliar but welcoming place. Laughter echoed as the food arrived. A towering burger with fries promised comfort. The atmosphere felt light and genuine. Shared meals continued weaving bonds, strengthening her sense of belonging here. A playful recipe guide detailed the burger's charm. Simplicity met flavor, local culture expressed through food. Each bite added not just taste, but another memorable layer to her American experience. She picked up the burger, opting to eat it by hand. The first bite surprised her, bold flavors burst forth. The barbecue sauce stood out, elevating the entire experience unexpectedly. They discussed the sauce's familiar taste. Curiosity sparked, she decided to inquire. Though the blend remained a secret, the owner confirmed it drew inspiration from Japanese flavors, bridging their culinary worlds. Pleased by the cultural overlap, she savored the moment. Such discoveries enriched her journey. Tasting familiar notes in foreign settings reminded her how food could quietly connect distant places and people. She reflected on the meal's balanced flavors. The conversation turned light. With parting near, new ideas sparked. Brazil for fishing, excitement bubbled. Travel's unexpected turns continued, weaving new threads of connection. Plans formed quickly. Enthusiasm bridged distance. Conversations with new friends expanded her horizon. The idea of exploring Brazil felt thrilling. Friendship, curiosity, and adventure now guided her next steps. At the airport lounge, she processed the journey. America had opened many doors. Now Brazil awaited. With a grateful heart and new friendships, she embraced the future's unfolding possibilities. At the Sakura lounge, she relaxed, reflecting on her journey. A rare treat, savored fully. Messages with friends shaped new plans. Ahead lay more travel, connection, and unexpected adventures. She received an invitation to assist with a Japanese language course at an American university. Curious and eager, she accepted another new experience, adding depth to her time abroad. At the university, she met fellow students and staff. Conversations flowed easily. Despite initial doubts, she felt welcomed. The opportunity to bridge cultures through language now felt meaningful and personal. Later, over a simple meal, they shared everyday moments. Familiar flavors provided comfort. Through casual exchanges, friendships grew. She found joy in how ordinary experiences connected her to this new place. Over coffee, they shared stories of work and fatigue. She reflected on the fleeting energy of youth. Encouraged, she embraced the present, aware each chapter of life carried its own rhythm. Conversation shifted to a friend's recent honeymoon. Smiles accompanied tales of adventure and charm. Listening, she appreciated how shared experiences, both big and small, deepened bonds across distances and cultures. They laughed about what left the strongest impression: fruit juice, of all things. Simple moments often stood out most. She savored this thought, knowing it mirrored her own travel experiences. She congratulated her friends on their marriage. Meanwhile, new plans unfolded: an invitation to the Amazon. Though intriguing, her schedule remained full. The correspondence continued, bridging distant worlds through shared passion. Travel took her to Osaka. At the bustling fishing show, connections deepened. Familiar faces brought warmth. Amid crowds and industry buzz, she found moments of genuine friendship and shared enthusiasm. A thoughtful gift was exchanged: karikomi, unfamiliar yet appreciated. Simple gestures carried great meaning. Through travel, work, and small acts of kindness, she continued weaving a rich tapestry of global connections. She selected kakimochi as a souvenir, valuing practical gifts. Reflecting on the nuances of cultural exchanges, she appreciated how small, thoughtful gestures often conveyed the deepest meaning across distances. Later, at a restaurant, she noticed a chalkboard special. Curiosity led her to try it. Despite uncertainties about the dish, she welcomed the chance to explore another local flavor. The dish arrived unexpectedly familiar. It was yakisoba. Surprised, she embraced the mix of expectations and reality. Moments like this reminded her how simple meals could bridge continents and spark delight. The yakisoba disappointed. Overly sweet sauce masked uneven flavors. Curious, she questioned the choice. Dissatisfied but undeterred, she left, determined to seek out a more satisfying culinary experience nearby. She discovered Firehouse Subs, an unfamiliar chain. Intrigued, she entered. Recommendations led her to the hero sub. Watching the preparation, she anticipated a simpler, heartier meal to balance her earlier disappointment. The sandwich arrived, generously filled. Crisp pickles accompanied each bite. Satisfaction replaced earlier frustration. She smiled, reminded again that exploring unfamiliar places often meant embracing both missteps and new delights. She sipped orange soda, reflecting on America's hearty fare: bread, meats, soda abundant and bold. Embracing the local spirit, she resolved to balance curiosity with care, savoring each discovery thoughtfully. A friend arrived from overseas. Warm greetings filled the airport. Familiar faces reunited after years apart. Amid cheerful chatter, she felt grateful. Travel continued to deepen old friendships and spark new joy. They chose a restaurant to catch up. Conversation flowed easily. For her, such simple outings now held meaning. Shared meals bridged time and distance, enriching both her travels and her writing. At the table, cultural surprises emerged. Dishes sparked curiosity and conversation. She embraced each moment, appreciating how food, no matter its origin, offered common ground and delightful discoveries among friends old and new. Over lunch, cultural perspectives surfaced. They shared views on food and customs. Conversations revealed the subtle ways traditions shaped daily life. For her, such exchanges deepened understanding far beyond the table. Later, they browsed a store. Anime, manga, and cultural exports filled the shelves. Observing their popularity abroad, she reflected on Japan's quiet global influence and the joy such shared interests fostered. A playful question: favorite One Piece character, caught her off guard. Amused and thoughtful, she pondered how deeply such media connected across cultures. Some moments required careful words, even among the closest friends. They discussed favorite characters with enthusiasm. Shared fandom bridged cultures easily. Browsing through artwork and books, she admired their passion. Such simple, genuine moments gave her travel new layers of meaning. Exploring anime merchandise, they laughed and exchanged ideas for souvenirs. She noted how certain icons translated uniquely abroad. Each item reflected the joy of cultural crossover and their growing friendship. A thoughtful souvenir was chosen. Smiles followed. The day's conversations had planted small seeds of deeper understanding. Grateful for the warmth shared, she returned to the hotel, content and reflective. The next morning, coffee in hand, she strolled peacefully. A chance encounter led to friendly greetings. Even small exchanges like these added depth and warmth to her evolving travel experience. Observing the surroundings, she reflected on America's diversity. Each region felt unique. The contrast with Japan intrigued her. This local charm, simple, open, green, deepened her appreciation for the country's varied character. Plans unfolded quickly. Friends gathered for a new outing. Excitement returned. Once again, she welcomed the blend of spontaneity and connection that continued shaping her journey in unexpected ways. They discussed safety in America. Though some realities felt unsettling, humor and friendship lightened the mood. Moments like these taught her to balance caution with curiosity during her ongoing journey. They discovered a corn dog stand. New to her, the treat sparked curiosity. Cultural exchanges flowed naturally. Even simple foods held stories, offering another chance to learn and share. At the counter, she watched the preparation. The vendor, eager to introduce their food, smiled warmly. Through such encounters, she saw how openness and shared experiences bridged cultural differences easily. Inside the food truck, she observed the corn dog preparation. The vendor explained each step. Fascinated, she noted how care and technique elevated even simple street food into something special. The batter sizzled in the fryer. Watching intently, she appreciated the craft. For her, this behind-the-scenes glimpse transformed the corn dog from a casual snack into a thoughtful experience. The final product impressed her. Fresh, crisp, and flavorful, it embodied comfort. Through food, she once again glimpsed how everyday moments could build understanding and enrich her cross-cultural journey. Encouraged, she took a bite of the corn dog. The crisp batter and juicy filling exceeded expectations. Simple yet satisfying, it proved once again how everyday food could surprise delightfully. They discussed its unexpected lightness. Inspired, she considered writing about the experience. Moments like these, where casual food revealed depth and craftsmanship, continued shaping her appreciation for the nuances of American culture. Conversation drifted to food trends. They laughed, sharing playful curiosity. As the outing ended, she reflected warmly. Such lighthearted experiences layered with learning enriched her journey far beyond her expectations.